and lines of credit. Approval in just 5 minutes. Money in your account in as little as 4 days. It's the easiest system you've ever used. You can do it yourself online. Whether you want to pay off bills, tackle a home project, cover education, or even a wedding, Fellowship Home Loans makes it simple to leverage the money that's already sitting in your house. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending guided by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
Typhoon Kalmagi has battered Vietnam with fierce winds, torrential rains, leaving at least 5 people dead, thousands of homes damaged before it weakened into a tropical storm. The BBC's Jonathan Head surveys the damage.
From what we can see, a lot of roofs have been blown off, a lot of trees are down. People were well prepared. They've taken shelter in solid buildings. Even some of those buildings you saw in some high-rises, large glass walls literally buckling from the winds. So it was a frightening night, but it doesn't appear to have been anything like as damaging as it was when Kalmagi hit the Philippines earlier this week. At the moment, we're hearing of maybe 5 people killed in total.
The Rapid Support Forces, paramilitary group that's been at war with the Sudanese military for more than 2 years, says it has now agreed to a humanitarian truce, the truce proposed by U.S.-led mediators. News and analysis at townhall.com. Yet another reason to admire the truly exceptional character of our nation's 16th president.
A job reference letter in 1861 from Abraham Lincoln on behalf of a young black friend provides a glimpse of an extraordinary relationship the two had. Private collector Peter Tuete has donated the letter to the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum in Springfield, Illinois. Lincoln wanted to find a new post for William Johnson because black White House staffers with lighter skin had shunned him. Johnson was later hired at the Treasury Department. Jason Walker reporting.
OpenAI is facing a total of 7 lawsuits claiming that ChatGPT drove people to suicide and harmful delusions even when they had no prior mental health issues, suits filed in California. More on these stories, townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Good morning, everyone, all across the John Fredericks Media Network. We are indeed broadcasting live from our studios in Nashville, Tennessee. In studio, the official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, the one, the only, EJ Haas. Good morning, EJ.
Good morning.
We're always so happy to have you, particularly on Friday.
Friday's my favorite.
Because on Friday, EJ takes the reins.
What?
Selects the topics.
Selects the big topic.
The big topic for the day.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for the Morning Rundown, which is brought to you every weekday at this time by our friends at the Glock Store. GlockStore.com, located just a few miles from the airport, right here in Nashville, Tennessee. So here we go. Here's the Morning Rundown for Friday, November 7th, 2025. Number 1, the aftermath of Donald Trump's tariff arguments the oral arguments made in the Supreme Court. It looked a little iffy for the president, but we'll give you some analysis of that. Number 2, Donald Trump calls for the end of the filibuster in the Senate. Some Republicans are warming about that. I think, EJ, I think that is the topic you have selected.
That is the topic for today. I have some insights and some history and some things to share.
Filibuster Friday. You like that? Number 3, Trump reportedly has pardoned former Tennessee House Speaker Glenn Cassida and his aide, Cade Cothran, on, basically their conviction for kind of a, chump change public fraud situation.
I wouldn't call it chump change. I mean, where there's a little bit of smoke, there was probably some more change, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
It was corrupt. And
we like 70,000.
Wasn't great.
Yeah. But it's a weird situation because he was on trial and convicted of felonies. Both of them were set to serve.
Wasn't it like 17 counts or something? I mean, it wasn't no small
quite
thing.
A few. And Robin Smith went state's witness and gave up the goods. But she's been sentenced to 8 months.
Right.
She's asked for a pardon. She's not received a pardon.
Yeah, so the snitch
The
doesn't
snitch,
get it.
Well, so far.
We'll
But
see.
also, there's one very weird thing about this. I know Cassada's attorney, Ed Yarborough,
Okay.
former U.S. attorney.
Yep.
Smart guy. It's interesting because the story broke usually when there's a pardon. You know how it gets out there? The president issues a statement. Mm-hmm. There's been no such statement from the president yet.
Yeah.
And
Which
so,
is probably smart because to me, this is not a good look. I don't love it. You committed a crime. You should do the time that you were sentenced to do. And
lots
I
of
don't
twists
know.
and turns on it. The other thing is, again, I think it's not wise to get ahead of the president, former Speaker Casta.
Yeah.
That would be my advice.
Yep.
But okay, we'll see. It's been widely reported. I'll wait till I see the statement from the president. But, a lot of people think that's happening. Number 4, we have some calls by yours truly and by several state legislators, including Jeremy Faison, for the resignation of the Tennessee Republican National Committee chairman, Oscar Brock. Oscar, he's kind of a rhino, has always been, but he's been, the way they do this, they've got the male and female committeemen, plus the party chair, are part of the RNC. He's been that for many, many, many years. But he was apparently back Courtney Johnson in her challenge to Andy Ogles. That's a violation of the bylaws.
It
But in
sure
this
is.
case, he publicly stated that he's not going to support any congressman for re-election. That would include the 6 Republican House members who are up for re-election.
Yeah.
And U.S. Senator Bill Hagerty. So, as a member of the executive committee of the state party, you got one job. You know what that job is?
Elect Republicans.
Elect Republicans. And
It's
so,
pretty simple, actually.
really, he's violated the bylaws again.
Yeah.
He should resign. We'll try to talk to Scott Golden about this, Chairman, and he was a friend of ours. But this seems pretty egregious. He needs to resign.
Sure.
Because we're in a battle here.
That's right.
And if the
Well, on the 7th in December, is it the 2nd or the 3rd?
December 2nd.
2nd. Afton Bain has a real shot. They're putting money and organization behind electing a Democrat in Tennessee's 7th congressional district.
And the Tennessee Republican National Committeeman, Oscar Brock, says he's not going to support any Republican.
Which is outrageous.
It's crazy. So we got that going on. Number 5, Roger Simon will join us in hour 2. In hour number 6, in hour 3, we'll be joined by Todd Kastner, who's running for mayor of Williamson County here in Tennessee, the affluent suburban county just south of Nashville. Number 7, we'll hear from Tom Pappert. We got more state legislators who are calling for the resignation of Oscar Brock. So there you go. That's the morning rundown, EJ, for Friday, November 7th, 2025. It's brought to you by our friends at the Glock Store. EJ, the Glock Store has been a sponsor of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show for years now, even before it was the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We were on Cumulus for a while.
That's right.
5 a.m. to 8 a.m. I never want to do that again. Who wants to get up at 3 in the morning? A crazy person, as our producer Patrick, who was with us during that period of time, would agree. But they were our sponsors then. This year, Glock Store has set their sights on Black Friday. It's an event you're going to want to try and attend from wherever you are. The details are just now coming together, but if I had to guess, EJ, I'm thinking huge discounts on everything, including Glocks, tons of giveaways, great food trucks, maybe some live music, tons of giveaways.
Yeah.
And yes, did I mention tons of giveaways?
Giveaways.
Now, of course, all the great Black Friday deals will also be available online. The real party will be here in Nashville. Nashville is a party place. At the Glock Store. That's the Black Friday celebration from Lanny McGill and the one and only Glock Store, minutes from the Nashville Airport, and worth the drive from anywhere, especially on Black Friday. So there you go. Okay, I want to talk about tariffs here for a moment.
Sure.
So yesterday, the president put these tariffs on because an Emergency Powers Act passed in the 1970s gave him the authority to act when there's an emergency in national security. And he put these tariffs on. And the emergency is basically 50 years of the United States losing its industrial base.
I think the emergency is probably our debt. That is an emergency that we have to...
And they're all related.
Yes.
But the Supreme Court, in its questioning yesterday, was very skeptical. Here's an example of a guy who really you would think would be on our side, Neil Gorsuch, but his questioning was on a topic that's kind of interesting. It's called the non-delegation doctrine. In other words, Congress has certain powers, and it can only delegate those powers to the executive branch if it's very specific as to what the intent is and what the instructions are. Oh, this is Alito. I'm sorry. This is Alito. Thank you. Clip one. Let's go Alito rather than Gorsuch, going to Neil Katyal.
A variety of different views about that, but the executive order, my friend said, well, prior presidents had no occasion to use the tariff power, which is belied by the very executive order he's defending here, which says that the trade deficits have been large and persistent every single quarter since 1976. And we've had trade wars. President Reagan initiated different ones and the use of different authorities, but never once did a president try and seek a EPA as the basis to rewrite the entire tariff code.
I found it interesting to hear you make the non-delegation argument, Mr. Katyal. I wonder if you ever thought that your legacy as a constitutional advocate would be the man who revived the non-delegation argument.
Heck yes, Justice Alito. I think Justice Gorsuch nailed it on the head when saying that when you're dealing with a statute that is this open-ended, unlike anything we've ever seen, to give the president this kind of power, yes, this isn't just delegation running riot. This is delegation that's a legislative effort.
Yeah, okay, so in this case, actually, all of the lefties, like Katyal, has always argued, oh yeah, Congress can delegate anything it wants. Except, in this case, they can't.
Right.
We'll be back with more, and my apologies to Justice Alito. He's the one who was asking the question, not Neil Gorsuch. When we come back, it'll be Filibuster Friday with E.J. Haas.
These illegal skill games that keep popping up, fights break out, they're illegal, we got drugs, we got gangs, they're all over the place. How do you get illegal slot machines in convenience stores when Governor Youngkin, you vetoed it, and no referendum, nobody passed it? How are they still here?
At the end of the day, it is local Commonwealth's attorneys that have to bring the cases against the establishments and to get them out. And so, yes, I've vetoed bills. The High Court has said that they can't be there. And on top of that, our Attorney General has done a full investigation. And we go back to our Commonwealth's attorneys in so many jurisdictions refuse to enforce the law. That's the bottom line. They protect the criminals at the expense of the victims. And that's why, again, elections matter. We have got to elect prosecutors who will put people in jail.
This ad paid for by Churchill Downs.
Is your pet ready for some possum fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at CreeksidePetHotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
Why is Purple Wave Auction the fastest growing heavy equipment marketplace? Our full-service online auctions take the hassle out of buying and selling farm, construction, and fleet equipment. Thousands of business owners partner with Purple Wave each month to manage their equipment. Sellers count on our experienced professionals to handle the marketing, paperwork, and payments. And bidders trust in a marketplace free of reserves and hidden fees. Purple Wave is the turnkey online auction service you've been looking for. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the costs of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless. Because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of Glockstore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at Glockstore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at Glockstore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
I didn't risk my life for this country just to watch career politicians wreck it.
Matt Van Epps, 9 combat tours, true American hero.
Now, I'm on a new mission to bring down prices, create good paying jobs, and lower healthcare costs for working families. I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message to fight for America, because that's what I've done my whole life.
Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress. This is Michael Patrick Leahy. Join Rutherford County Mayor Joe Carr, Senator Marsha Blackburn, Congressman Tim Burchett, and Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs and me at T-Bones and Politics 2025 on the evening of November 10th in Murfreesboro for a night of great food, good fellowship, and inspiring political speeches. Get your tickets now. They're going fast at tbonesandpolitics2025.com. This is a great annual event. This year, musical entertainment will be provided by the Tremolo Honey Band. If you haven't heard them before, they are absolutely fantastic. This special event is sponsored by Barrett Firearms, Old South SRM, Moody Excavating, Azure Flight Management, and SEC Engineers. So go right now to tbonesandpolitics2025.com and get your tickets for T-Bones and Politics. It's an evening of great food and fun on November 10th. I'll see you there. Paid for by Joe Pack, William Ronsley, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
It's Filibuster Friday. Brought to you by E.J. Haas.
Yeah, I have thoughts. Sometimes I get a little fired up about different subjects, and today is one of those days.
Tell our listeners what the filibuster in the Senate is. It's not a law.
Nope,
it's
not a law.
Rule.
Not in the Constitution. It is historically, believe it or not, do you know where the word comes from? It's a Dutch word that means freebooter or pirate.
Pirate.
So that gives you a little bit. So basically what it is a procedural tactic. The filibuster in the United States Senate, it allows minority senators, in this case Democrats, to kind of hold the government hostage. So if there's like a bill coming up that they don't like, they can say, okay, we're not going to give you cloture, which basically means ending debate in the Senate, which you need 60 votes to do.
60. Oh, let me do the math. 53 Republicans, 47 Democrats. That's 7 less than 60.
Wait, so you mean because the Republican majority it has the House and the Senate and the White House, we can't just pass anything we want?
Apparently not.
Yeah, apparently
now,
not.
the filibuster has been part of the Senate rules for, over 200 years, right?
Yeah, for like 1806 or something like that.
Yeah.
Not really used very much. 1841 was the first recognized filibuster. It occurred when Democrats delayed a bank bill. Henry Clay threatened to change the Senate rules, but no reform was passed. So it's got a history. Yeah. It was really popular from the 30s to the 50s. Filibusters grew kind of notorious for blocking civil rights bills.
Well, even before that, you may recall, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
That's right. Yeah, made very popular with
Jimmy
that movie.
Stewart, of course. If you could filibuster, like talk forever and ever, and hold up.
Right, the talking filibuster.
And the cloture would basically end,
It ends debate.
Yeah, ends
so
debate.
The point of the filibuster is to end debate, right, or to delay ending debate. In the Southern Democrats made it pretty popular. Figures like not my favorite, Richard Russell.
From Georgia,
who we can thank for the ridiculous school lunch bills. And then Strom Thurmond, South Carolina. They used what they called marathon speeches. Thurmond was 1957 filibuster against the Civil Rights Act.
Right.
So Democrats love that filibuster, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
Now, let's see what Donald Trump has said about this. It's been a tradition, as we said, for over 200 years.
Tradition. Not a law.
Not a law, but a rule of the Senate. Okay, here is what Donald Trump has to say about it. Clip 20.
I think it's time for them to end the filibuster and just put everybody back to work. Vote in voter ID, vote in no mail-in voting except for military, faraway military, and people that are very sick. I'd like to see one-day voting. I'd like to see not 65 days of voting.
So he's making the argument here, and I think it's quite accurate. The Democrats today, they're basically communists.
Yeah.
And they're not your grandfathers, or they're not JFK's Democrats who would actually work with Republicans on these. No, these are people, they are clearly obstructionists.
That's what I was going to say, is obstructionist. That's the word that we have to start using that more frequently. You know, here's the deal. I know there's a lot of people on the right. A lot of Republican senators are saying we don't have the votes for it to eliminate the filibuster. They call it nuclear option, right? And there's quite a lot of debate, like on social media, on X and whatnot, with all the influencers, right? Here's what I will say. I think it's extremely naive to assume that Democrats are somehow going to follow tradition or rules should they ever get power again.
So what they're likely to do, if you're back at the core point here. We are at a point in our constitutional republic where Democrats can never be allowed to be in the majority in either the House of Representatives, in the Senate, or to win the presidency again. Would you like to know why? Because they will destroy the country.
They absolutely will.
They hate our constitutional republic.
They absolutely will. So, you know, to assume that they will, follow rules or whatever, like I said, very naive. The Democrats have, quote unquote, power right now by way of this filibuster 60 vote needed to end debate. They have that right now, and look what they're doing with it.
Yeah.
The very little power they have, they are completely abusing. And they've basically said, we're going to hold the government hostage. They don't care about SNAP benefits. They don't care about travel delays. They don't care about air traffic control and safety in the skies. They are gumming up the entire system, basically in the name of leverage, to get something that they
want.
Leverage,
they talk all that. Yeah.
So that I think is the biggest issue. But guess what? I did a little digging into the Wayback Machine.
The Wayback Machine. Let's see if we can
crank that up. How do you think prominent Democrats felt about the filibuster when they had all three, the House, the Senate, and the White House? Let's find out what Obama said at the time. They've already told us what they intend to do, so let's listen to them when they say it.
By guaranteeing that every American citizen has equal representation in our government, including the American citizens who live in Washington, D.C. and in Puerto Rico. They're Americans. by ending some of the partisan gerrymandering so that all voters have the power to choose their politicians, not the other way around. And if all this takes eliminating the filibuster, another Jim Crow relic, in order to secure
hold it.
I just told you who was holding up the Civil Rights Act. It was the Democrats. It wasn't the Republicans. Listen, Obama already said it. What they will do is ramrod all these things down our throats that they want. They will eliminate the filibuster. So he says right there, they will do what they want with a simple majority.
Mm-hmm. So let's step back. We've had over 200 years of this Senate rule called the filibuster. That was a 2020 clip from Obama.
Yeah.
He said, we got to end the filibuster so that we can bring in Puerto Rico as a state.
D.C. as a state.
Which would be utter disaster.
Later in that speech, he talks about packing the Supreme Court.
So it basically, the reason to end the filibuster today is to save the Republic tomorrow, basically.
Yeah. And listen, I find it really interesting, the people who scream democracy, 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 which we all know is basically mob rule. It's majority rule. But here they are whining about the filibuster now. All of a sudden they've changed their tune and they want 60. They want this supermajority. When in reality, democracy is, 51 out of 100. So they change their minds with the times based on what it is that they want and the leverage they need.
If the Democrats get 51 members of the U.S. Senate in January 2027, what is the probability they'll end the filibuster?
100%.
Ding, ding, ding.
Immediately.
That is the correct answer. We'll be back with E.J. Haast on Filibuster Friday after this.
Learn more about Rosie's rewards and jackpots at rosiesgaming.com. Must be 18 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-888-532-3500.
President Trump is rebuilding our economy, but we need every American in the fight. People leaving federal prison have a 60% unemployment rate, but a job is the #1 factor in preventing reoffense. The Safer Supervision Act is a pro-jobs bill. It helps people leaving prison on federal supervision rejoin our workforce to turn former prisoners into taxpayers. Strengthen our economy. Make America safer. Support the Safer Supervision Act. Visit safersupervision.com. This message paid for by the Reform Action Fund.
The Katz and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Cats and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
My fellow Americans, I have to tell you about my good friends at D.T. McCall & Sons. They have furniture and appliances and a lot more. They've been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years, and they're not going to rip you off. No hidden charges, no delivery charges, no charges for all of the crazy things. These are sick people at the lumber yards. These are very sick people. They charge you for cords and hoses and haul off. They charge you for all of these things. They call them hidden charges. It's the type of surprise that you don't want to see. It's like an October surprise, but it's worse. D.T. McCall & Sons, they're not going to do that. They're great people. They're going to give you a great deal. With locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, D.T. McCall & Sons will give you the deal of your life. Check them out today or go to dtmccalls.com.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message.
Meet woke liberal Afton Bain.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Afton Bain, so woke, she thinks it's a win to harass police.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Woke liberal Afton Bain. When she wins, we lose.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Hi, everyone. EJ Host here, founder of the Digital Footprint Management Agency and frequent guest on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, here to tell you about GetFoundEverywhere.com. Customers are searching for your business everywhere: Google, Apple Maps, TikTok, and new AI platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini, which is a total disruptor. Traditional search engine optimization isn't dead, but it is on life support. Old tactics don't work anymore. So how can you make your business stand out? GetFoundEverywhere.com makes your business pop on over 50 search, map, review, and AI-driven platforms. With one easy dashboard, manage business profiles, social media accounts, direct messages, even texts and reviews. GetFoundEverywhere.com is affordable, boosts your visibility, and gets your business more customers. It's time to step up your game the easy way. Save time, save money, and get more customers with GetFoundEverywhere.com.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
It is still Filibuster Friday with official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, EJ Host.
Yes, sir. I am learning on X, follow me there at EJ Under the Radar, that I am in opposition to what they call the 7K Club. Do you know what that is?
I'm about to find out. What is the 7K
There
Club?
are a significant number of influencers. The rumor, I am not saying this is fact, but the rumor is that they get paid about $7,000 a post to get certain things out to their massive following.
Hence the 7K Club?
Yes, and we have them on our side too. The conservative 7K Club is pretty strong. There are a significant number of people who are saying we have to follow the rules. We have to have quote unquote integrity, and that somehow we'll hate it later if we get rid of the filibuster now. And I just can't help but say,
wake up and smell the coffee.
False. Yeah, absolutely not. So I've been asking actually for a while, and this is filibuster related, but I've been asking for a while, what is stopping the Republicans from passing bill after bill like literally every week to codify the America First agenda. And I'm not even going to say the Trump agenda. Pick and choose if you want. But Doge cuts, everybody loves those. Do it. Why have we not put into law any Doge cuts? That doesn't make any sense to me. We could do that. How about tariff policies? We were talking about tariffs at the top of the hour. If we nix the filibuster and we get bills through that allow President Trump to use these tariffs the way he's been using them without this lawfare from these judges and from the obstructionist Democrats and everything else, then we don't have to worry. Then the fight is gone, right? So I guess what I'm saying is a strong GOP should nix the filibuster and get these things done. And that is what we elected them to do in the last election. I keep hearing everybody talk about the next election. I don't care about the next election.
We are here. We
fulfill the promises of the last one, because if you don't, there won't be another election for
to quote
Republicans.
Barack Obama, elections have consequences.
That's right.
And we're in the middle of a consequence.
So why are we always afraid on our side to do these things that we know are right? Chip Roy actually had some really interesting thoughts on that and what Republicans need to do. Let's listen to his clip.
Republicans need to look at this as a wake-up call that we get on offense, right? We need to be sending stuff over to Senate Democrats. We need to send over, for example, H.R. 2 from the last Congress to codify the border security the president's doing. We ought to send over the SAVE Act again. We ought to pass, for example, the ban on congressional stock trading, which I introduced 4 years ago. Let's stop that, right? These are issues that poll at 80 or 90%. Send it over to the Democrats and make them have to deal with it. So I think we should come back in and go on offense and don't let the Democrats carry the message.
How do you feel about that?
I'm with you, Chip.
Yeah. I'm not always with Chip, but I'm with Chip on this one. Yeah, I think he makes a great point. Just send the stuff over, get it passed, you know?
Let's do it. Because also the other thing, I hear these people, you know, the august historians say, well, things move back and forth over time. And the one party's in, then next time the other party's in. They don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
They don't understand the severity of it.
This is
and the
now,
filibuster's changed over the years. We just talked about the talking filibuster, which isn't a thing anymore. You don't have to talk for hours and hours and hours, even though some Democrats like to do that.
Spartacus.
That's not necessary.
Wearing his Depends for 28 hours.
How ridiculous. You know, I think it's clear that the filibuster has become kind of a media circus. It's just there to, I don't know, try and get people on your side to agree with you on something, but it doesn't make much sense. Well, it's not necessary anymore.
Here's the thing. What is it that we need to do, like right now? What we need to do is implement the America First agenda now. And then you want to talk about affordability. You implement the America First agenda, things will become more affordable.
That's right.
What the Democrats are trying to do is they're trying to make things less affordable, and they're trying to say, elect us and we'll make it affordable. No, they won't. They'll make it worse.
Well, you've got Democrats, and I'm sorry I didn't bring the clip, but there's a Democrat who was literally on the floor. Is he House or Senate? I'm not entirely sure. I think he's House. But basically, he just said, yeah, we know Obamacare was a big fat failure, that it didn't make healthcare more affordable. So why are the Republicans being held to fix the problems of the Democrats? Forget them.
We've got that clip.
Do you? Let's hear it.
Because we have the best producer in the world. Here we go.
The answer on why it is I'm standing here today asking to extend something that was temporary. And here's the reason. We did fail to bring down the cost of health care.
Yeah, that's a Democrat senator. I forget. Some, obscure. Was it Gary Peters?
I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, Welsh.
Welsh.
Peter Welsh from Vermont.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
So, but at least they're admitting it. But it's not.
No. One guy's
admitting it. But why is it the job of the Republicans to clean up their mess? get out of the way.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Somebody else that is always fun, especially on a Friday, because he's my favorite comedic senator, John Kennedy, was talking about the frustration Trump must be feeling, because we played Trump earlier saying, yeah, nix the filibuster. I want you to hear what he has to say.
We'll hold the Senate. I think what President Trump is really frustrated about is the fact that the Senate's not doing anything, and he's right. We haven't done anything. We passed the one big beautiful bill, which we would not have been able to do without the president's involvement. And since then, we've done nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. In fact, we had a meeting. Every time I brought up the idea of doing a second reconciliation bill where we don't need Democrats, our leadership just ignores me. And I don't blame the president for being frustrated. He's frustrated that we're not getting up off our ice cold lazy butts and passing bills that would be part of his agenda. And frankly, I don't blame him for feeling that way.
Yeah.
Ice cold lazy butts.
That's a really great description of it.
I've never heard that.
I agree 100%. I think that's the frustration, though, kind of in the country at this point, right? We got very frustrated when Elon kind of left the room because he was heading up the Doge stuff. Like, we really want that. We really, really want cuts. We like the tariffs. I mean, short-term pain, long-term gain. There's plenty of things that we do like in the America First agenda that we really want, and there's a lot of disappointments right now. So if Republicans were smart, and by disappointments I mean Maha is cozying up with Pfizer, and now we're making Ozempic available on Medicaid. Like that, nobody voted for that. Who voted for President Trump and RFK? Like there's some bridges being torn down right now that it's fracturing the America First group.
My favorite maximalist, Stephen K. Bannon.
Yes, sir.
Had a few words to say about this. Let's play clip E4.
And I will tell you right now, as God is my witness, if we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included. They're not going to stop. They are getting more and more and more radical. And we have to counter that. And what do we have to counter it with? We have to counter it with more action, more intense action, more urgency. We're burning daylight. If you look across every aspect of this, we have to codify what President Trump has done by executive order, right? We have to codify it. And people say, well, they're just going to be messing bills going to pass Senate. We got to put aside these structural barriers and get on with it. President Trump today gave to the Senate when they came over for breakfast. Even Lindsey Graham, some of the guys that liked, and some of these institutions, I understand. This is a very tough decision to make. And you're going to see some people in the conservative movement that not in a million years, because I talked to him today, quite frankly, I had Hawley on the show this morning, Josh Hawley, and he's talking about it. And I'm trying to play the institution. Well, they called me up this afternoon and said, let's go through the 10 reasons we need to do it. And these are heavy hitters on what I would call the constitutional, limited government constitutionalist in our movement. And they're about to come out over the next couple of days and make this argument because it said, look, we have to understand that if we don't take this to the maximum, a maximalist strategy now with a sense of urgency, and in doing this, seize the institutions, if we don't do that now, we're going to lose this chance forever because you're never going to have another Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're never going to have, that's right. There's only one Trump.
That's right. Right. And what are the Democrats going to do when there is no Trump?
Crush us.
They will
put
go
us in prison.
Even more radical, as he said. Yep.
Yeah. I don't want to go to prison.
Me
I think
either.
we need to win.
I kind of like my freedom.
Hey, we'll hear from Bernie Sanders when we get back.
Ouch.
Ouch. Back after this.
Is a record player the best way to listen to music? Of course not. So why are you still taking vitamins in pill form that haven't been upgraded since the 1930s? Even if you don't have trouble swallowing, most vitamins in pill form can't be absorbed very well. It's time to upgrade to the pill-free future of vitamins. Advanced nutrition company, Healthy Cell, created a patent-pending ingestible gel that is clinically proven to have 265% the absorption rate of tablets. These physician-formulated supplements come in a small gel pack. You tear off the top and shoot it down. You can also mix it in water. They taste great, they're convenient on the go, and they're more natural too, without chemical binders, fillers, and coatings. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of any product. That's healthycell.com. HEALTHYCELL.com.
Get in. We're stealing homes. We're not like those other home criminals that steal your stuff. We steal your hard-earned home equity. We find your property online from the public record. Got it. Create a deed transfer that makes us the homeowners. Got it. And borrow tons of cash against your equity, and you won't know till the foreclosure notice hits months later.
Just go to HometitleLock.com/Godzilla. Protect yourself.
Hey folks, Al Green here for SatPhone. When you're on the go, you want to know you're connected. If it's a family vacation or an off-the-grid escape to a remote destination, having reliable communication helps you feel safe and secure. You can't afford to find yourself in a dead zone. That's why you need SatPhone. SatPhones are reliable, durable, and give you global coverage. If you can get outside, you can get in touch. It's that simple. Make calls from your SatPhone to any regular cell phone in the United States. The phones are $1,500 value, but you can get yours free. Just sign up for a 15-month plan, $94.95 a month. Get 150 minutes monthly that roll to the next month. Go 3 months without using them, that's fine. Yes, 3 months, 450 minutes, all yours. Visit SAT123.com or call 855-980-5830. SAT123.com, 855-980-5830. Get surety and security with your sat phone. Call now.
Is your fur baby looking a bit rough? Transform them from shaggy to snazzy with Befur and After Pet Grooming in Marietta, Georgia. Their top-notch groomers pamper your pups with baths, custom cuts, and nail trims that'll have them strutting like show dogs. From mobile grooming vans to their cozy salon, they'll make your pet spa day a tail-wagging blast. Book now at BefurandAfterGrooming.com. Befur and After, where pets go from grr to glamorous.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com, listen to Michael Patrick Leahy, and make America great again.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We're broadcasting live from our studios in Nashville, Tennessee, official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show on Filibuster Friday.
Hey.
EJ Host. EJ, we have one more hypocrite to hear from.
Well, I mean, if we really wanted to.
We could have hypocrites forever.
I mean, probably 3 days straight without breaks or interruptions. Like, we could do our own hypocrite filibuster.
Yeah.
And just play clip after clip after clip. But I like this one, though, because, who are the faces of the Democrat Party right now?
Well, in terms of elected officials that are in office.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders.
Uh-huh.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yep.
And coming to a city about to be destroyed near you, Zohran Mamdani.
That's right.
Okay, so let's talk about Bernie and the
Yep.
filibuster. We've got sort of a before and after. Here we go. Bernie Sanders on the filibuster.
The Republicans understand that the filibuster is an important part of what the Senate is. Well, I think right now we should maintain the filibuster.
Well, let's be clear. This enormously important bill, a bill to protect the foundations of American democracy, will fail. It will fail because, according to Senate rules, it will require 60 votes to pass, and in a 50-50 Senate, not one Republican will vote for it. My Republican colleagues who are so adamantly against changing rules, well, my goodness, they changed the Senate rules to allow 50 votes to confirm the president's nominees to the Supreme Court. Oh, my goodness, how shocking. Rules get changed around here all of the time. And maybe, just maybe, we might want to change the rules in order to save American democracy.
Oh,
What?
What? He sounds like Donald Trump yesterday.
Right? But, he didn't always feel that way. Only when it matches what they're trying to accomplish. They're like, listen, this whole CR thing, they're like toddlers, right? Who have a lollipop. And they are sucking on the lollipop. And then somebody wants to take it away from them. And they don't know how to deal with it. They're throwing temper tantrums. And they just won't give it up. And they're like, no, I'll only give you the lollipop if you give me a candy bar.
Bingo.
No, let's
That's what
be
they're
the
doing.
adults in the room. Let's tell them, not only can you not have the candy bar, but give me that lollipop back because you are acting like a spoiled brat little toddler. All of this like leverage that they're trying to use and saying, well, this is the only power we have right now. Look what they're doing with the power they have right now.
So I'm looking at this right now, and they are, because of their electoral successes in blue states and blue cities on Tuesday. A lot of people were saying, well, after the election, they'll, we'll start working together. Doesn't look like that.
No, and I think there's more to it, though.
Tell
Do
me.
you want it here? So we have a couple of things going on in the House. Remember, we have a very thin margin, Republicans do, for a majority in the House.
I think it's like 219 to 213 right now.
So
something like that.
But it's thin, and not everybody shows up for votes and everything else. We've got a couple of other things going on. There was someone who passed, and there's a special election, I believe, in January. We've got the special election here in Tennessee, and then there's someone, as long as the government is closed.
Grijalva from Tucson.
That's right.
So where we are right now.
She's a Democrat, and she would be right now another vote in favor of like some Epstein thing that Massey and them are pushing, like blah, blah, who cares? All I'm saying is we have a thin majority, and we've got a couple of rogue, call themselves GOP, but really all they do is anti-Trump everything. So I think that might have a little something to do with it also. They're kind of holding out, and maybe if Afton Bain gets elected, if they can somehow pick up another seat, maybe somebody's going to retire. So I always kind of look at what's happening behind the scenes. The headlines tell you one story, and probably there's more to it than that.
They are here in Tennessee 7. There was a lot of activity from national groups before the primary.
Mm-hmm.
But now they've kind of disappeared. Well, guess what? On the left, they're not disappearing. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
very organized.
And the big problem here in Tennessee 7 is Davidson County.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you looked at the voting turnout by party, Davidson County, which is 25% of TN7, went 14,000 Democrats to 3,000 Republicans.
Right,
That's
in an off
huge
year,
margin. So they are motivated.
Yep.
They're financed, and they have very detailed demographic capabilities.
You know who's coming? The rumor is who's coming to Tennessee?
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Jasmine. Okay, and guess who else might come here?
Oh, probably AOC, I would guess,
and
right?
guess who else?
Oh, is Bernie coming too?
Well, I think Zoran.
Oh, Mom, yeah.
Because, nothing says a Middle Tennessee like your favorite Marxist from Bowdoin.
And so many people
And
in
Uganda.
Nashville want it to be just like New York. Yeah, that's a problem. So, yeah, I mean, it always goes back to, though, when we're talking about Filibuster Friday, do it.
Do it.
Because all these things are bubbling up behind us.
E.J. Haas, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, you bet.
Always a great Filibuster Friday. Up next, our very good friend, Roger L. Simon, Academy Award nominated screenwriter and the very best writer in America, according to yours truly. Back after this.
Each of us is born with 30 trillion cells that make us. These cells determine how we feel, perform, sleep, focus, and how long we live. And to live our best life, all we have to do is feed our cells properly. But most supplements don't reach our cells, keeping us from reaching our full potential. Make every cell count with Healthy Cell. Founded with a mission to empower people to take control of their own health at the most fundamental level, the cell. Dr. Vincent Gempapa, world-renowned cell researcher and medical doctor, created supplements that work at the cellular level to support immune health, better sleep, sharper focus, and healthy aging. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of any product. That's healthycell.com, HEALTHYCELL, and use code GODZILLA for 20% off.
Feel like you're doing everything right but not getting ahead? Join Lifestyles Unlimited in Richmond November 8th and 9th for a 2-day seminar that shows you how to build income and wealth with real estate. Thousands have used these strategies to change their financial direction, and you'll see exactly how it's done. Text RADIO to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007 today. That's Richmond November 8th and 9th. Text RADIO to 88007.
John Fredericks loves his radio and TV audience, but did you know how to follow the Godzilla of Truth wherever you go? Download the John Fredericks Radio Show app to listen live nationwide. For the daily chit-chat, Trucking the Truth, download the Getter app and join the morning fun on Getter Live from 6 to 10 a.m. Follow John Fredericks on Getter, Truth Social, or Twitter at JF Radio Show.
This is WJFN Goochland, Bonaire, Chester, and WJFV Portsmouth, part of the John Fredericks Media Network.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Hey, high anxiety at the airports today and probably right on through the weekend. Because of the longest ever government shutdown, the FAA is cutting the number of daily flights by 4,000.
It's to take pressure off air traffic controllers who are working without pay during the shutdown. 2 words you don't want to hear at the airport are canceled and delay. In Dallas, Ellen Perkins' late-night flight was bumped to the next day. Anyone with plans for the weekend are anxiously waiting to find out their flight status. Reginald Dumas, also in Dallas, is trying to be patient.
I'm praying about it. It has to break.
Some airlines are planning to focus on slashing routes to and from small and medium-sized cities. Ed Donahue, Washington.
The Trump administration seeking an emergency order in its appeal of a Rhode Island federal judge's ruling ordering the administration to find the money to fully fund SNAP food benefits for November. The president hosting the leaders of 5 Central Asian countries at the White House.
Today, their location in the heart of Eurasia gives them incredible importance and unbelievable potential. Sadly, previous American presidents neglected this region completely. And I understand the importance of this region, one of the most important regions.
The president's focused on finding more sources of rare earth minerals, crucial to a range of high-tech applications, military and otherwise. She says she wants to make New York State more affordable, among other goals. Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, one of President Trump's leading allies on Capitol Hill, has announced her campaign for governor of New York. She says she also wants to fight crime in the Empire State. Watching Wall Street this hour, the stock market is in the red this morning. The Dow down about 215 points. The Nasdaq is off 372. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
France mourns its stolen crown jewels as its inconvenient colonial past returns to view.
The Louvre artifacts were French, but the gems were not. Their exotic routes to Paris run through the shadows of empire, an uncomfortable history that France, like other Western nations, has only begun to confront. Within hours of the theft, researchers sketched a likely colonial-era map for the materials. Sapphires from Sri Lanka, diamonds from India and Brazil, pearls from the Persian Gulf and Indian Ocean, and emeralds from Colombia. There is obviously no excuse for theft, says Emmeline C.H. Smith, a criminologist at the University of Glasgow who studies heritage crime. But many of these objects, she says, are entangled with violent, exploitative colonial histories. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Typhoon Kalmegi has struck Vietnam with powerful winds and heavy rains, blamed for 5 deaths in that country. Townhall.com. It's true, once upon a time, all roads did lead to Rome.
And scientists now say those roads stretched 50% longer than previously known. A new study combines information from historical records, ancient journals, locations of milestones, and other archival data with newly available satellite imagery to map all known roads in the ancient Roman Empire. Researchers say these feats of Roman engineering still shape the geography and economy of the Mediterranean region and beyond. The new data set and digital map are available online for scholars, history teachers, and people with an interest in ancient Roman history. Keith Peters, Washington.
A candlelight vigil has been held in Louisville, Kentucky, honoring the victims of the UPS plane crash this week and anyone else affected by the tragedy. The crash of the plane left at least 13 people dead, while 9 others are still unaccounted for. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from our studios in Nashville, Tennessee. We are very happy, pleased, and delighted to welcome to our microphones right now, here in studio, my former boss at PJTV, the Academy Award nominated screenwriter, in my opinion, the very best writer in America, the one, the only, Roger L. Simon. Good morning, Roger.
Good morning, Michael.
It's always happy to have you here. So, Roger, we've got so many things to talk about. I noticed, did you see this press conference yesterday about, semi-glutides and some kind of Maha stuff? So there's Donald Trump in the Oval Office, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Secretary of HHS. And then this executive with one of the pharmaceutical companies, he's standing there, and all of a sudden, mid-press conference, boom, he faints. What's that? That was.
He should have. You know, the thing about drugs in this country is they're probably the biggest ripoff that there is. I mean, you know, I'm going to be 82 very shortly.
Birthday coming up?
Yes, in 2 weeks.
Shall we have a party for you?
Yeah, well, I don't care about that anymore. But
we need to have a party.
I might go to dinner with my wife. Here's the thing. What we have, what these drug companies do, they rip you off incredibly. And if you have insurance, you can see it, because it sometimes gives away what the actual price of the drug is that you're getting when you're paying about $10 or something. And the drug can be $1,000. Somebody is washing. I mean, it's amazingly corrupt, especially in this country. I mean, we're the suckers, and Trump has outlined that. Now, the semaglutide thing, which they were talking about, that's Ozempic and all these kind of weight loss drugs, are really important, and I'll tell you why they're important. We have a huge epidemic of obesity in this country, particularly among the poor because they can't afford decent food.
Yeah.
What makes you fat is bad food, right?
The ultra-processed stuff, right?
Yeah,
Where they
everything.
throw in all sorts of...
When you say the ultra-processed, it's practically everything. In fact, to be able to eat decent food, you have to really have some money and you have to pay attention to what you're eating.
When we talk about ultra-processed, it's where they throw all the sugar and salt and other stuff into it, right?
Yeah.
And
not just other stuff. There, seed oils. There's a whole bunch of things.
Right.
So it's not,
Coincidentally, this all happened, it seems to me, right around the time when the tobacco companies in the 60s and 70s and 80s started acquiring food companies.
It was in that time too, but it's a really old story, and people are brainwashed into eating this crappy stuff. Anyway, what the semaglutide does is it prevents it. Now, the semaglutide drugs were very expensive. I know because the family members took them. But they do work, and they do not have really much in the way of side effects because they were originally for diabetes, and people have been taking them for many years for diabetes. So they know that they actually work. And it turns out that Trump has arranged to cut the price for this down from like $350 to $50.
He's negotiated with the pharmaceutical companies.
He's negotiated with the pharmaceutical companies. Now, it is now going to be cheaper for people on Medicare or Medicaid and also through Trump RX if you don't have insurance. Now, this also is going to put pressure on the insurance companies to reduce the price.
So you said Trump RX. What is Trump RX?
I don't really know. So that's the answer to that question. Because I'm of the age that I'm on Medicare, and also because of my years in the Writers Guild, I have insurance from that. So I'm a very heavily insured person, thankfully.
Yeah.
But so I don't have any reason to know about these other things. But it's it's an insurance. Trump has got his feet into everything. Whether you like that or not, and that's a way to get these drugs cheaper too. And but it also puts pressure on other companies. I listened to that Dr. Siegel on Fox.
Yeah, Mark Siegel.
He's
pretty good, isn't he?
He's a good guy.
Yeah,
he's a very good guy.
I think he's got a book out.
Yeah, he's got a book out on God and health.
Really?
Yes,
yeah.
And it's absolutely true. I mean, belief in God makes you healthier. But I mean, there's even data for this. But one thing that definitely makes you healthier is not to be overweight. And if you walk into Walmart or any discount store, and you look around at all the people without money or less money, you see fat people walking around. And that's because these processed foods are cheaper. And so, and also, they've been addicted because, if you eat a lot of sugar, you get addicted. And I've been addicted to bad processed food a lot. I've finally weaned myself from it. But it was a lot of work. But I didn't use semaglutides.
Just
discipline. I just used discipline.
Yeah.
But if you need something, you need something. I'm not judgmental of people who take this. So I think this is a very good thing. I think what RFK Jr.'s stuff is very good. I mean, people put him down. I've spent time with him. He's very smart, and he's not shooting from the hip.
Yeah, he's a very smart guy.
I mean, he actually has researched this stuff. It's not.
Well, he's written a very lengthy series of books on this topic.
I mean, he's not a lightweight, and But, people attack him because they love to attack anything to do with Trump or whatever.
Mhm.
And, it's what you call human stupidity. And we've seen a lot of that around. Anyway,
Isn't that the human
anyway,
condition?
good for them in lowering the price on this. I hope they continue to lower the price on drugs so that, what Trump has been looking for is equality with other countries from the drug companies. And certainly that's fair.
Well, the issue has been affordability, right? That's the hot button these days. And this is Trump. Was off cutting all these deals around the world. Now he's back here, and I think this is the first of many policies that will highlight affordability.
I think you're absolutely right about that. And one of the tricky things for Trump is that he's such a large personality and loves to live around glitter.
He does, yeah. Everything he builds has got gold plated. This or that.
All of that. I've been in Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago is not to my taste.
It's a little.
It's
glitzy.
vulgar, but
Hey.
let's put it that way. Let's be blunt. It's vulgar. But so that can. What the thing about the vulgarity is that it sort of works against. It allows an opening to people to criticize, even when he's doing good stuff. So it's a tricky. It's a tricky balance.
Ballroom criticism, right?
Yeah. The ballroom thing, obviously nothing bad about it. It's good to have a ballroom in the White House, I guess. It's the most significant building in the world in some ways. But, it maybe his timing on it was wrong. I don't know. Anyway. But he likes to move forward, and he's right about
forward.
one thing is you don't have much time.
Yes, we're burning daylight. That's for sure. Roger, when we come back, can you help me unravel a weird mystery? What's happening to the Heritage Foundation?
Well, it may not be here by the time we get back on the air.
Back with Roger Simon after this.
Hey folks, Al Green here for SatPhone. When you're on the go, you want to know you're connected. If it's a family vacation or an off-the-grid escape to a remote destination, having reliable communication helps you feel safe and secure. You can't afford to find yourself in a dead zone. That's why you need SatPhone. SatPhones are reliable, durable, and give you global coverage. If you can get outside, you can get in touch. It's that simple. Make calls from your SatPhone to any regular cell phone in the United States. The phones are $1,500 value, but you can get yours free. Just sign up for a 15-month plan, $94.95 a month. Get 150 minutes monthly that roll to the next month. Go 3 months without using them, that's fine. Yes, 3 months, 450 minutes, all yours. Visit SAT123.com or call 855-980-5830. SAT123.com, 855-980-5830. Get surety and security with your SatPhone. Call now.
MyPillow and Mike Lindell are excited to announce they're having their biggest 3-in-1 sale ever. Mike loves John's listeners and viewers and says he agrees with President Trump. John has the best audience in America. Check this out. MyPillow bed sheets, any color, any style, any size, even kings. Regular $119.98, only $29.88. My Towels are finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first and only time ever, get their limited edition premium My Pillows made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queens $17.98, Kings only $19.98. Also for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you will receive free shipping plus $100 in free digital gifts. So go to MyPillow.com or call 800-854-0504 and use promo code Godzilla. Use your promo code Godzilla for the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now. 800-854-0504, promo promo code Godzilla or mypillow.com/Godzilla.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Cats and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
Is your fur baby looking a bit rough? Transform them from shaggy to snazzy with Be Fur and After Pet Grooming in Marietta, Georgia. Their top-notch groomers pamper your pups with baths, custom cuts, and nail trims that'll have them strutting like show dogs. From mobile grooming vans to their cozy salon, they'll make your pet spa day a tail-wagging blast. Book now at BeFurandAfterGrooming.com. Be Fur and After, where pets go from grr to glamorous.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of Glockstore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at Glockstore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at Glockstore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
This is State Senator Mark Pouty. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pouty.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pouty, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
I didn't risk my life for this country just to watch career politicians wreck it.
Matt Van Epps, 9 combat tours, true American hero.
Now, I'm on a new mission to bring down prices, create good-paying jobs, and lower healthcare costs for working families. I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message to fight for America, because that's what I've done my whole life.
Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress. This is Michael Patrick Leahy. Join Rutherford County Mayor Joe Carr, Senator Marsha Blackburn, Congressman Tim Burchett, and Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs and me at T-Bones and Politics 2025 on the evening of November 10th in Murfreesboro for a night of great food, good fellowship, and inspiring political speeches. Get your tickets now. They're going fast at tbonesandpolitics2025.com. This is a great annual event. This year, musical entertainment will be provided by the Tremolo Honey Band. If you haven't heard them before, they are absolutely fantastic. This special event is sponsored by Barrett Firearms, Old South SRM, Moody Excavating, Azure Flight Management, and SEC Engineers. So go right now to tbonesandpolitics2025.com and get your tickets for T-Bones and Politics. It's an evening of great food and fun on November 10th. I'll see you there. Paid for by Joe Pack, William Ronsley, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
We have a mystery here, Roger. What's going on with the Heritage Foundation, which has been kind of the gold standard, if you will, of conservative think tanks for many, many years?
Yeah, I mean, sort of. I mean, what is the gold standard on a think tank? I mean, there's Hudson, there's a whole bunch of them. And, you know, I don't think much of think tanks. I'll have to start with that.
Tell me why.
Well, I think they're just boondoggles for, you know, people who, you know, otherwise could be doing something substantive with their lives. Look, I mean, I'll admit I'm a sore loser because a couple of times I was up to be in a think tank, and they both times I got back, well, you're very smart, we like what you write, but your degree is an MFA from Yale.
No, you're kidding me.
We don't have MFAs.
You're kidding me.
Yeah,
they have wonky economists. By the way,
yeah, or you know, poli-sci degrees and stuff like. If you read if you actually read the theses that these people get their PhDs from.
They're childish.
Also, they're kind of like really boring and that nobody has ever read any. Rarely are they read by more than 3 people, meaning the
reviewers that give them the grade.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, the whole thing is it's a con, but it's sort of sad, really. And I think this is the end of an era, sort of. I think a dart has been, a bullet really has been put in Heritage because its leader, who's this
PhD,
American
history, Kevin Roberts,
who makes $1 million a year.
Does he make $1 million?
Yes, you didn't see that? Oh, it's all over the internet now.
He makes $1 million a year.
His salary 2 years ago was $900. With the fringes, it pops way over $1 million.
Well, good for good. I mean, look,
for doing absolutely zippity doo dah.
Well, let's come back and just say the Heritage Foundation. We have a lot of friends who write reports there. Good people. John Malcolm on the Constitution side, very good. Hans von Spakovsky, Bridget Wagner, good people.
Hans is a good lawyer. That's
very good.
Yeah, but he should be happy being a lawyer. He doesn't need this stuff.
Well, here's the thing. It was in the 70s where it was kind of, noodling around, and this guy by the name of Ed Fulner took it over.
Yeah.
He was a fundraising behemoth. He knew how to raise money.
Yep.
And he converted Heritage Foundation into, particularly in the Reagan era, right? That's kind of where they excelled. And they set out policies, and a lot of people took over. Then, I think it was, 2013, Jim DeMint, who had been a very conservative senator from South Carolina. Ed was ready to retire. They brought Jim in. It was 4 years, and it just didn't happen. He wasn't, for whatever reason, something fell out. And then
he didn't raise enough money. I mean, that's really what it's about. I mean, these are self-perpetuating.
So then after that, Kay James came in, and she did okay, but they weren't happy with her, and she was there for like 4 years. And then they brought in Kevin Roberts, who has a PhD in American history. He had been, at the time, I think, at a little private college in Wyoming.
That's right.
Wyoming Catholic College or something like that. And, he'd written a lot of conservative stuff and a bright guy. So they brought him in. And he's been there for 4 or 5 years. I think they got a little bit of trouble because there was some rumor, shall we say, that he was, backing the DeSantis angle.
They backed DeSantis before Trump,
Yeah, so that would cause a kind of falling out. And then they had this Project 2025, which became a hot button for the left. And Trump kind of said, look,
I never read it. He said,
I said, I've never read it.
Maybe he didn't.
I'm the one running for president, not them.
Yeah.
But
that was nothing compared to the scandal with Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes.
So let me. This is a bizarre, unforced error. It seems to me. So for some reason, the guy who makes $1 million a year, Kevin Roberts, thought it would be important for him to go out and do a video, basically defending Tucker Carlson's interview of this neo-Nazi guy, Nick Fuentes.
I don't think it's an unforced error.
Really?
I think it's a huge error.
It's an error.
Yeah, but I don't think it was unforced. I think what you have here is a very cowardly leader, Kevin Roberts, scared of the power of Tucker Carlson.
But Tucker, does he have any power now?
Yes, he does within
a certain group, I guess.
I mean, this guy wants to be popular. So probably what happened, he originally condemned the interview, right?
Kevin Roberts did.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden he makes this video saying, oh, well, it wasn't so bad.
This was like a week and a half ago.
Why did this happen?
Tell me.
And I think he got a lot of phone calls from what one might call FOTs, Friends of Tucker. And the FOTs called him up and said, what are you doing going against Tucker? Tucker's the greatest spokesperson for the Republican Party. No, he's not. He's now a dagger in the heart of the Republican Party.
He's gone. He's gone
dagger
off
in the heart of America,
off the rails. But what's interesting about it is that somebody with some wisdom would have said, look, this is not central to my mission. Right?
Oh, I'm not saying, yes, I totally agree with you.
But then
he demonstrated cowardice, not wisdom.
But even worse, what he said is, well, my 29-year-old chief of staff wrote the script.
Yeah.
And I thought he had vetted it with everybody.
Yeah.
Well, you and I write stuff, and it has our names attached to it. And if it has your name attached to it, Roger, it's yours.
Well, you generally look it over. I've never had anybody writing stuff for me. I just don't like it.
Well, yeah, and even
except
like
for ChatGPT, that's the.
Wait a minute. But with me, Roger, when every single article that is published at the Tennessee Star and the Star News Network, I review it.
Of course.
I review it
That's your job.
Because my name is on the publication.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and if I don't review it and say if there's a problem here, I stop it.
Well, you have other people writing for you, obviously, and you review those. When you do it yourself, you're doing it yourself.
When I do it myself, if it's got my name on the article, the byline,
you wrote it.
I wrote it. I stand by it. But this guy, when he got the feedback, he goes into this supposed private conference Wednesday this week, and he says, well, you know what? I didn't really read it. Which says...
Liar. No, he's a liar.
And it was my chief of staff's thing. And
he's looking for a plausible deniability.
My 29-year-old chief of staff deceived me about that. What are you talking about, man?
Well, what's happened is this is a dagger in the heart of the Heritage Foundation. A number of people have left already.
Well, I don't think. I mean,
and I think
he's got to go.
Well, but I don't think I don't think the organization is going to survive.
I think it will. I have a different view on it.
We'll see.
But they're going to have to. I mean, he's going to have to resign.
I think the whole think tank thing is in jeopardy now, because people see.
What am I giving you all this money for?
Yeah. What is it about?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's about very little. So
when we come back, I'll tell you what. We got a couple things to talk about. We've got Elise Stefanik running for governor of New York. We've got the communist Islamo-Marxist got a majority of the vote and will be the next mayor of New York City. And we got tariffs, all on the agenda. Can we cover it all today?
They're all linked together.
Back with Roger Simon after this.
Get in. We're stealing homes. We're not like those other home criminals that steal your stuff. We steal your hard-earned home equity. We find your property online from the public record. Got it. Create a deed transfer that makes us the homeowners. Got it. And borrow tons of cash against your equity, and you won't know till the foreclosure notice hits months later.
Just go to HometitleLock.com/Godzilla. Protect yourself.
Now more than ever, it's imperative to support companies that share our conservative values. That's why I can't be more excited to tell you that I've switched my family to Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you shift your support away from the leftist, woke, progressive agendas of Big Mobile. Patriot Mobile's wireless service works perfectly and seamlessly as you go about your lives with exceptional nationwide coverage that uses the same towers the main carriers use. Patriot Mobile donates a portion of every dollar earned to causes you care about, to organizations that fight for religious freedom, First and Second Amendments, sanctity of life, and the needs of veterans and first responders. Patriot Mobile has plans to fit any budget, along with great discounts for our veterans and first responder heroes, as well as multi-line users. Switching is easy. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Godzilla or call their U.S.-based customer service team, 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-728-7468. Use offer code Godzilla for free activation.
Ponder this. Adding a drop of water to a mostly filled glass of water would not make a noticeable difference. However, adding a drop of arsenic to the same glass of water could be deadly. Likewise, how is it that one person can change the world and another make no noticeable difference? This is the case of a man named Charlie Kirk. He was like a drop of sanity in a culture that is overflowing with insanity. Charlie was not an elected official. He wasn't a powerful businessman. He wasn't even a household name. But Charlie was a man driven by his love for the Lord, his love of family, and his love for country. He knew America was the greatest country in the world, and he saw how his young people were being led astray by unhealthy and anti-Christian ideologies. Charlie was sent by God to be an inspiration to many. If you listen to God's calling as Charlie did, it could perhaps change your life and the lives of those around you like you never thought could be possible. Call on God and ask Him to send you, and be prepared. He will. I'm Susie Kelly at ponderfulmoments.org.
Is your pet ready for some possum fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at creeksidepethotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
My fellow Americans, I was this close, very close, to buying from the lumber yards. These are sick people. But I turned my head at the last second, and I saw a big, beautiful ad for D.T. McCall's. These are highly respected people. If I had not turned my head at the last second, I would have been ripped off at some lumber yard for $200 in hidden charges, and D.T. McCall & Sons are never going to do that. They'd never do that to you. These are great people. I've known them for a long time. They have great deals, and I just have to say, nobody knows deals like I do. D.T. McCall & Sons has locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, and they have been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years. These are tremendous people. D.T. McCall & Sons. Check out one of their stores today.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message.
Meet woke liberal Afton Bain.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Afton Bain, so woke she thinks it's a win to harass police.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Woke liberal Afton Bain. When she wins, we lose.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Roger Simon. Here we are. We're two natives of New York State. I'm from upstate. You are from Manhattan.
Well, I have a new mayor.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
We'll get to that in a bit.
Right.
The news from this morning is a congresswoman from upstate New York in my old haunts who represents the area where I grew up as a kid, Plattsburgh, New York, Dannemora, where they have the prison.
Right.
Elise Stefanik, who, like me, is a Harvard grad, and but is a very, very strong Republican member of the House. Remember,
very pro-Trump.
She was, very pro-Trump. She was nominated to be the ambassador to the United Nations, but because the margin in the House was so narrow, Trump withdrew it, and he needed a place to put Michael Waltz after the goof up on the the communications, moved from National Security Advisor to UN Ambassador. So this morning, she announced that she is going to run for the gubernatorial nomination as a Republican, and will challenge Kathy Hochul.
Yeah, well, I don't normally make predictions, but I think she's going to be the next governor in New York.
I am rooting for her.
I besides rooting for her, I think she's going to win.
Tell me why.
Well, first of all, she's got, this is going to sound crazy, Mondani on her side. What I mean is,
I know what you mean.
He's going to screw up so badly that that she's going to have a lot to shoot at. And also, the state of New York is very different from New York City. In fact, people are fleeing New York City now, and they're moving to the suburbs of New York, and those people will all be Stefanik voters anyway. So,
well, except for the hollowed-out cities of upstate New York, like Utica, and to some extent Syracuse, and to some extent even Buffalo, and Rochester, where they used to have Eastman Kodak.
Right. Talk about hollowed out. That's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. And so, but all of the rural areas of upstate New York are going to be silently for Lee Stefanik.
Oh, yes.
No question about it. It will be a close race. Because
I don't think it'll be as close as you think.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I think time is on our side too right now.
So I will tell you this a little bit, because I went back for my high school reunion. Let's see, when was this? This would have been a couple years ago, 2 years ago, to upstate New York. And I went to two different. I went to a junior high school and then a high school. I went to both of them, and one's in central New York and the other's in western New York. And I found among my classmates generally a conservatism, generally speaking, and a real. I really like my high school classmates a lot more than my college classmates, to tell you the truth.
Oh, well, of course.
But because pretty much everybody that I went to the Ivy League school with,
they went
gone.
to indoctrination camp.
Yeah.
But
but the point is though that they've been under the thumb of leftism for so long. Those that stick around have kind of gotten, being used to being abused in their rights. So that's the only caveat.
Yeah. Oh, all right. But speaking of Mandani, I first of all, I wasn't surprised in this victory at all.
I wasn't either.
Nobody was. Come on, he was running against two awful competitors.
Awful.
Yeah. But I was a little surprised that his speech. I wrote on my Substack, which I want all listeners here ought to subscribe to. Just go to Roger Simon's Substack on Google and you'll find it. That he reminded me of Mussolini.
Mm-hmm.
He was not even the slightest bit gracious in victory. He
angry, mean.
Angry, and why was he so angry? Well, I think he is an Islamo-fascist. That's what he really is.
Yeah.
And what their goals are totally imperialistic. They want to take over the world. They don't want any more Jews and Christians.
No, they want to kill us, basically.
And so that's who he is in his core.
Mm-hmm.
And he revealed that. If you go back, if you don't believe me, go back and find that speech on YouTube or wherever, and it's spooky.
Angry, hateful.
Yeah.
And wanting to crush his enemies.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Yeah.
I began the names that you never heard, because he's allegedly a Democrat, but the Democrat Party is history. Yeah. This is the communist. This is the Islamo-fascist communist party.
Yes.
Right now. And he's the head of it for now.
Yeah. I think more than AOC even.
Yeah, I think so. Because the energy there.
Yeah, I mean, he's more charismatic.
He is more charismatic. He's more articulate.
Yes.
But, again, he's never had a job. He's just, he's a propagandist.
Yes, entirely. I mean, so what will happen now? I mean, if you find out that his biggest contributors were Kerr and Linda Sarsour, and I mean these are people who support the Ayatollah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be interesting when the proverbial rubber meets the road, which starts January.
Yeah.
Whether they can govern New York City, whether they can actually get the garbage picked up.
They won't be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you can see it in everywhere. The fire commissioner has resigned.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't think he'll be very compatible with Zoran. He's Jewish.
Yeah.
And, Zoran Mamdani, angry. The names not heard in that speech, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy. Those names were not heard. The names that he quoted? Eugene Debs.
Yeah.
Right? The socialist.
Yeah.
And did he say anything about...
And he started his speech in Arabic.
Wow.
It's in
your face. It's in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's clearly what they're going to do. And, of course, this tells you the intellectual weakness and lack of courage of all of these sort of elite Ivy League grads.
Oh.
They don't have any courage or any brains. They can't see what's going on.
Or they're just so cowardly.
They are beyond.
It's one or the other or both.
They have no courage. And, in fact, but the other problem, it's working with those under the age of 30, as you probably saw from the polls, exit polls.
Yeah.
75% of voters in New York City under the age of 30 voted for Zohran Mamdani.
Yeah, and a third of Jews voted for him. Now,
are they suicidal, or are they not Jews? Or what's the problem?
I don't know what you'd call them. I mean, certainly you can understand what happened in Germany in the 30s.
It's almost as if they're in Germany in the 30s and they're voting for their own extermination.
Their own demise. I mean, it's hard to even understand it.
The core of this problem, let's get to the core of the problem, is basically 50 years of open immigration policy.
Oh, yeah.
And really, 1965, from 1920 to 1965, we had virtually no immigration.
Yeah.
Right? Why? Because back in the 1920, the Americans looked around and said, there are a lot of people from other countries who haven't really quite assimilated.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They don't want to assimilate now.
No.
Not all of them.
Particularly Muslims, because in Islam, I mean, there are nice Muslims out there. Obviously, they're human beings.
Yeah, sure.
But the ideology of Islam is against assimilation at every turn.
Yeah, it's for domination.
It's the opposite. We want to turn you Islamic.
Yeah. And
this is 24 years after 9/11.
Yeah. Well, and the problem has to do with weakness from basically the established political groups here. The Democrat Party that used to exist there.
Yeah.
I mean, all they could put up was Andrew Cuomo. Are you kidding me? The guy who left in disgrace as governor. Now, having said that, I mean, most of those guys, most of the Democrats who ran for mayor were tepid, lukewarm, uninspiring.
Yes.
Right? Weak.
Yeah.
And I guess he was, the highest name recognition.
But how about the Republican Party? I mean, Curtis Leahy has lost so many times. What's the point?
And
the Beret Act and the whole thing.
The Beret got to go.
Also, I don't know how true it was. I saw on Greg Kelly's show in Newsmax, Greg Kelly was really against Leahy, and he brought out all kinds of stories of corruption from 20 years ago that seemed actually true. So, I mean, what's going on with the Republican Party in New York?
I mean, basically, they've all moved to Florida.
Yeah, a lot of
or
them,
Texas or Tennessee.
Yeah.
They've moved out. If you are, the thing I thought, on the election eve, Donald Trump endorsed the bad Democrat over the communist, Andrew Cuomo, and said that and said basically, hey, Curtis, lose that red beret. It's not working for you.
Yeah,
and he's right.
Of course he was right.
Yeah, exactly.
He also told Leahy to get out, but he didn't do that. I see. As an ego issue. That's
what else is Leahy going to do?
Yeah,
except wear the red beret and go on Fox News.
Anonymous.
Yeah,
because who would pay any attention to him? No one.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
Well, look, I hope at least Stefanik wins in New York City and governor, and that would be major.
Oh, tremendously.
And she would be the first real conservative Republican governor of New York State ever.
Probably.
Because Pataki wasn't conservative.
He was the middle of the road.
And Nelson Rockefeller was a precursor to,
to the Rhino movement.
To the Rhino movement, totally.
Yeah.
All right, Roger, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit tariffs, see how that's going to work out. He's Roger Simon. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy. We'll be back after this.
these illegal skill games that keep popping up. Fights break out. They're illegal. We got drugs. We got gangs. They're all over the place. How do you get illegal slot machines in convenience stores when Governor Youngkin, you vetoed it? And no referendum, nobody passed it. How are they still here?
At the end of the day, it is local Commonwealth's attorneys that have to bring the cases against the establishments and to get them out. And so, yes, I vetoed bills. The high court has said that they can't be there. And on top of that, our attorney general has done a full investigation. And we go back to our Commonwealth's attorneys in so many jurisdictions refuse to enforce the law. That's the bottom line. They protect the criminals at the expense of the victims. And that's why, again, elections matter. We have got to elect prosecutors who will put people in jail.
This ad paid for by Churchill Downs.
President Trump is rebuilding our economy, but we need every American in the fight. People leaving federal prison have a 60% unemployment rate, but a job is the #1 factor in preventing reoffense. The Safer Supervision Act is a pro-jobs bill. It helps people leaving prison on federal supervision rejoin our workforce to turn former prisoners into taxpayers. Strengthen our economy. Make America safer. Support the Safer Supervision Act. Visit safersupervision.com. This message paid for by the Reform Action Fund.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Cats and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
Folks, this is Crom Carmichael, CEO of Solti. I have recently turned 77 years old. I do not take prescription drugs. I have not had to take prescription drugs, and I attribute a lot of my good health to a product that I've been taking, which is the active ingredient in Solti. It's a 22% concentration of theaflavin. We did clinical trials on it 25 years ago and found that it helped lower cholesterol. We have had many, many hundreds of letters and emails from customers telling us how it has helped them not only manage their cholesterol, but lower their triglycerides and help them on their blood pressure. And I can't tell you how much I attribute to Solti for my good health at age 77. And I encourage you to go to GodzillaHeart.com. That's GodzillaHeart.com. And use the code Godzilla at checkout, and you'll get a 50% off on your initial shipment of Solti. And I promise you it will be a great help for your heart health. Thanks so much.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com, listen to Michael Patrick Leahy, and make America great again.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. In studio, our very good friend for many years, Roger L. Simon. Roger, yesterday, oral arguments in the Supreme Court about the legality of Trump's tariffs. They were based upon a 1970s Emergency Powers Act. And he's the first president to exercise those powers as it relates to tariff. Now, I think there is an emergency, and there has been one building for half a century. I think he's well within his rights to do it, but the Supreme Court justices were very skeptical.
Well, some were and some weren't.
Yes.
I mean, I watched Howard Lutnick being interviewed. Now, Howard Lutnick is one smart dude. He's our Secretary of Commerce.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing he knows about, it's tariffs and how that kind of stuff
Mm-hmm.
works. And he said that the court was absolutely worse on the plaintiffs in this instance than they were on the government.
Now, he said that. I heard him say that.
Yes, and his explanation was interesting. I mean, I think it was, I can't remember which.
Amy Coney Barrett, who was talking about the mess.
Oh, yeah, but his idea, what he was pointing out, Lutnick, was the idea that the president has the right to indisputably to totally cut off trade with any country.
Yeah, that was Amy Coney Barrett.
Yeah, and therefore, since he could totally cut it off with any country, why shouldn't he be able to not? In other words, if his advisors are telling him, cut off all trade with Russia,
he's got the authority to do that.
Yeah, he has the authority to do it. Why shouldn't he then be able to say, well, let's modulate this and give them a tariff of X, Y, Z?
Now, it's interesting.
It's a good question, isn't it?
But the lefty attorney, who's a very good attorney, Neil Katyal, but a lefty, and hardcore lefty, representing the small businesses and I think the state of Oregon, who were opposing this.
Right.
He made an argument that no lefty has ever made. He said there's something constitutionally called the non-delegation doctrine, which says that the courts ruled on this innumerable times, which said that basically Congress cannot delegate its core authorities to the administrative state without great specificity, right? And all the Democrats want that stuff delegated, and the courts for decades have put the standard of specificity so low that they've ruled multiple times until the Chevron case was overruled that you could do it. But then Katyal was saying, "Oh, there's not enough specificity in that." Alito just kind of tore into him on that one.
Right.
So I think we got Alito.
Also, in the midst of all this, Bessent is asked the terrific Treasury Secretary whether there was a Plan B if the court ruled against them, and he said, "Absolutely, we have several other ways to continue."
Yeah.
So I predict that the tariffs will remain.
You do.
I also predict, I guess I'm in a prediction mood today, that the court will rule something that splits the difference.
Yeah.
That I don't know exactly what it will be.
So I think, now remember Justice Roberts, who did the split the baby thing on taxes back in the NFIB v. Sebelius, the Obamacare decision, where he said, well, for the purposes of origination, the it's not a tax, but for all other purposes, it is a tax. In the same decision.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So he came back to the tax thing again. He was saying, well, it's a tax. Well, it's not really a tax, right? This is like old economics 101, and all the evidence is who bears the burden of it. Well, the burden is really not been on the American taxpayer. It's been on the foreign country shipping this stuff in.
Pretty much. Well, although the foreign countries have probably tried to, these things are negotiations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all.
I think where this is going to end up is you're going to. I don't think it's going to be a complete loss for Trump. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a complete win. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a 5-4 or 6-3. Split the baby decision, authored by Justice Roberts. Well, that's what I think.
Okay, you went one step beyond me.
I did.
Yeah. Because I predicted the same general result.
I just said
you predicted the author.
The author. Yeah. Because
I don't know about that. Maybe, but that's probably true because when there's a split decision like that, it's usually Roberts who writes
splits the baby,
writes the BS.
It usually is. He's very much he wants to protect the institution. But you've seen now Trump and Speaker Johnson have gone out and said, look, this will be disastrous, major economic consequences. That message is for Justice Roberts. We'll see. Roger.
Yeah. Also for the market.
Yeah, good point. Roger, it is always a delight to have you. This hour goes by so quickly. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Hey, up next, Todd Kastner, a very successful business executive right here in Williamson County, running for mayor. We're going to catch up with him. Back after this.
From New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Let's keep it real. My white colleagues could never discuss this issue because they would be branded racist immediately. Welfare was one of the worst things that ever happened to black people.
Dominic Carter, weeknights on the John Fredericks Media.
So this is the direction that the party is headed. They're going full Marxist and socialist. It is a dangerous turn, but they show no signs of letting up on that. And meanwhile, we're trying to apply common sense and govern for the people.
Speaker Johnson's entire This Week on Capitol Hill interview will be broadcast beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time Saturday on the Salem News Channel. Correspondent Ed Donahue has more about changes at the FAA as it continues to deal with the government shutdown.
It's to take pressure off air traffic controllers who are working without pay during the shutdown. Two words you don't want to hear at the airport are canceled and delay. In Dallas, Alan Perkins' late-night flight was bumped to the next day. Anyone with plans for the weekend are anxiously waiting to find out their flight status. Reginald Dumas, also in Dallas, is trying to be patient.
I'm praying about it. It has to break.
Some airlines are planning to focus on slashing routes to and from small and medium-sized cities. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Slow going on Wall Street right now. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down by 373 points. The Nasdaq up by 456, with the S&P 500 right now off by 80. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-304-3399. 800-304-3399. That's 800-304-3399.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
October was a big month for U.S. layoffs.
U.S.-based employers cut more than 150,000 jobs in October, marking the biggest reduction for the month in more than 20 years. A report by Challenger Gray and Christmas said on Thursday, as industries adopt AI-driven changes and intensify cost cuts. Tech firms led the job cuts in the private sector, followed by retailers and the services sector.
That's Bill Alexander reporting. The unemployment rate is low and the economy is still growing, but those out of work face the slowest pace of hiring in more than a decade. It's also been the unwillingness of many companies to add workers that has created a more painful job market than the low 4.3% unemployment rate might seem to suggest. It's also slightly more complicated. The low hire, low fire economy has meant fewer layoffs for those with jobs, while the unemployed, struggle to find a new job. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. A religious freedom battle has begun in Chicago.
The city's Board of Education will not allow student teachers from the Moody Bible Institute to participate in student-teacher programs in the public schools. The board says it won't work with Moody because the Christian school won't hire homosexuals or people of other faiths. Alliance Defending Freedom has filed suit saying that, quote, by excluding Moody for its religious beliefs, Chicago Public Schools is illegally injecting itself into a religious nonprofit's hiring practices. Michael Harrington reporting.
Former NBA player and assistant coach Damon Jones has pleaded not guilty to charges he profited from rigged poker games and provided sports bettors with non-public information about injuries to stars LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Jones is a one-time teammate of James, and he said little on Thursday during back-to-back arraignments in federal court in Brooklyn. You'll find more of these stories at townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We welcome to our microphones here in studio, friend of the program, candidate for mayor of Williamson County, Todd Kastner. Todd, welcome back.
Good to be here, Michael. Thank you for having me.
It's always fun that you come in and, you know, people in Williamson County, they've got an election decision to make in May on the Republican primary.
Correct.
And you're one of several candidates on the ballot.
That's right.
You were the first to announce, I think.
That's right. Yes, yes.
A great business background. Basically, you just retired.
I did.
But
September 30. That's
you've
right.
built some healthcare companies in your career.
I was at American Retirement Corporation, and we later merged and kept the name Brookdale Senior Living. In 2006, we merged with 2 other companies, and then we kept the senior management slots. But I joined 41 years ago and was there for 41 years. I started out as a financial analyst, was quickly made chief financial officer, and they handed me development from day one, so I did all the development work. And then I got promoted to executive VP of corporate development and president continuing care retirement communities. It's kind of a mouthful, I apologize. But ran 2 operating divisions that each had 5,000 employees and about 8,000 residents. But I developed about $1 billion worth of senior living communities over the years, and I did many multi-$100 million acquisitions, and then dispositions and joint ventures and capital formation, and it was a lot of fun. It was very complex. And
You know finance, you know operations, you know business.
that's right.
41 years at the same place. I mean, that's fairly steady.
Very much. Not a lot of people do that anymore.
I don't know of anyone that I can think of who's had the same job for 41 years.
And I didn't set out with that as a goal. It just sort of evolved that way.
Although I might say, you know, somebody who, in a way, has had the same job for maybe all that time is Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But it's his own, real estate company. I guess it was Dad's first. But that's good company to be in terms of
he's
longevity.
amazing. He's amazing.
Okay, so one other thing I want to talk to before we get to how wonderful Williamson County is in Tennessee. I didn't know this, but you have been for the past 3 years a member of the Tennessee Board of Regents.
Yes.
What does the Tennessee Board of Regents do?
That's a great question. We own and operate the 13 community colleges that are scattered across the state, and we have about 27 Tennessee Colleges of Applied Technology. And some of those programs, we call those TCATs for short. And some in the TCATs, you can pursue nursing certification. You can get a commercial driver's license and be driving an 18-wheeler tractor trailer, pretty quickly.
I think welding too. Can you learn
welding, all sorts of things.
I mean, stuff that people really care about. Where you won't be supplanted by AI.
No. We've even started a distillery program where you can train down at Motlow State and learn to be a distiller, I guess is the right term. At Jack Daniels
I mean, come on. In one of the things Tennessee's known for is whiskey.
Oh yes,
right? Not bourbon.
No, you're right.
You're a native of the bourbon, Kentucky.
Kentucky, where they brag about bourbon. You're right.
But here they brag about whiskey.
Absolutely.
But there are some entrepreneurial companies here that just started up distilleries, right?
There are, and I don't know those in detail, but I know that Jack Daniels is the largest whiskey brand worldwide. They're in 170 different countries. It's kind of unbelievable.
Wow.
All down in Lynchburg.
So now these community colleges and the TCAT, are you seeing an increase in applications for TCATs?
We are. I mean, it's not been flat. We're an open admission system. So if you want to come, you apply, and we take you.
So let me just understand open admissions. If you have graduated from high school,
yes,
you can apply for a TCAT.
Yes,
or community college.
That's right.
And you just accept it.
Yes.
And how expensive is it?
Well, with the Tennessee Promise, generally it's free for the first couple of years. You can go to a community college for 2 years for free and then transfer over to UT or MTSU or a 4-year college and have your credits transfer, and it's a fantastic deal. It's all part of the plan.
So you don't go. It's like if you don't have a lot of money,
right,
and you have ambition.
Oh yes.
You can get, in essence, pretty close to a free education.
That's right.
At least for the first 2 years of college in Tennessee.
That's right. I have some air conditioner tech friends who make 7 figures. It's a great career path.
You mentioned air conditioning techs. Okay, it's Tennessee. It gets cold in the winter.
Oh yes.
It gets hot in the summer.
You've noticed that.
And humid.
Oh yes.
My best friend is a guy who, well, I say best friend, but good friend, is a guy who started his HVAC company.
Right.
And let me tell you something. In Tennessee, well, you know this. When your air conditioning goes out in the summer, you want that guy to answer the phone right away.
You pick the phone up. You're exactly right. It's a great business.
Well, I'll just talk about this guy. This is a great guy. Yancey Smith Air Conditioning.
Interesting.
Yeah. They have been based down in Murray County for a while, but fantastic. His sons now are in the business. Does a great job. And they make some pretty good money.
Well, my buddy who does this, I mean, we think of it normally in terms of residential, like the system at your home. With this buddy of mine, he can do that, but he will also put a 500-ton centrifugal chiller on the roof of a 7-story hospital if you want him to. I mean, it's a real
it's a good business,
important skill set.
And they won't lose their jobs due to AI.
No, not a bit, not one bit.
Because if your air conditioning goes out and it's 100 degrees out there, you can't go to ChatGPT and get it fixed.
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly
I love that. Now, How often does the Tennessee Board of Regents meet? How did you get on that?
Well, Governor Leahy appointed me to that 3 years ago, and it's been a fascinating experience. We meet quarterly, board meetings quarterly. We have committee meetings. We got a meeting coming up here this month, and we typically do those offsite. We'll go over to one of the community colleges as a venue. December we do here in the corporate headquarters, the system headquarters, which is out near the airport. So I'm effectively a board member, like a board of directors member. The compensation is it's fantastic. It's exactly zero. It's
zero. That's 0. But you do it.
They pay us
because
nothing,
but it's important.
What a mission! What a great mission!
And I think it must be kind of fun to go to tell us the most fun experience you've had going to a community college or a TCAT.
Oh, my goodness. Well, the Blue Oval City, the Ford plant out in West Tennessee near Jackson. I visited that area. That's nice. I was there.
When did you go down there?
Oh, golly, probably about a year ago.
Is there a TCAT down there?
There's a community college, and we're doing a TCAT also. TCAT Jackson.
In Jackson. Got it.
And Governor Lee was there for the ribbon cutting. It is such a great career path. We're working hand in hand with industry, and industry says we need this kind of person, and we help create the supply of qualified applicants to do whatever it is they're looking for. And oftentimes the industry partner will contribute machinery and things and be a part of the whole process. So it's a real win-win. It's all about workforce development and raising the educational level of Tennessee across the state and giving kids who don't have any money a great opportunity. You can come out of with a commercial driver's license and you can be making $100,000 a year pretty quickly. You can get an RN degree. Same thing. You could be making $95,000, $100,000 a year, in just a couple of 3 semesters, I think, for the RN designation. So
you've been there for 3 years. What have you noted? Any changes you noticed in 3 years on Tennessee Board of Regents?
Just we got an incredible leadership. Flora Tidings is our chancellor for the whole system.
Flora Tidings.
Tidings, yes, and then Emily Reynolds is our vice chancellor, and just the level of talent and commitment of these people is just awe-inspiring.
Now, are they educated? What's their background?
Education. Although Emily Reynolds was the secretary to Senator Frist in Congress and became, I think, secretary of the Senate, I guess. So just great people. I will tell you this: one of the challenges in education is figuring out the complexity of what's your return. How do I gauge one college against another in terms of efficiency? Because they have different programs. The different programs have different costs. But I love that sort of complexity. So I try to sort out the financial comparisons between different institutions.
So here, let's see, the nearest TCAT, I know there's a TCAT up in Murfreesboro, I know. Is there one in Williamson County?
We've got a community college in Columbia, and they actually have a campus.
They have a branch up here.
They have a campus in Williamson County, and then we've got, I can't remember all the locations. We've got lots of TCATs. Nashville.
When we come back, we're going to talk about your race for mayor.
Okay.
But let's first tell everybody why Williamson County is the greatest county in America.
It is spectacular.
And we'll talk about that with Todd Kestner, who's running for mayor of Williamson County after this.
Hi folks, John Fredericks here for Freedom Alliance. Veterans are still struggling with the wounds of war. They came home with injuries that changed them forever. The flag-burning troublemakers in our streets remind me how fortunate we are to have patriots who served and fought, sacrificed, and never complained. We need to support them through organizations like the Freedom Alliance. It's Military Appreciation Month and time to support those who serve. Freedom Alliance is caring for combat veterans and military families. Combat veterans fought in the worst, most dangerous places on earth. Freedom Alliance takes them to nature's most relaxing locations so they can heal. Freedom Alliance gives injured troops mortgage-free homes, new cars, and all-terrain wheelchairs. For wounded vets, there's nothing like the stability of your own home, the reinsurance of a reliable vehicle, or the independence of a wheelchair that navigates snow, ice, beach, pasture, or most any terrain. Let's fight for those who fought for us. Go to freedomalliance.org/Godzilla and make a monthly gift that will improve the life of a military hero. That's freedomalliance.org/Godzilla. Make a contribution today.
If you're like me, most moms find it difficult to prioritize self-care. Hi, it's Colleen, Program Director at the John Fredericks Media Network. With the demands of programming 13 radio stations, it's easy to forget about the things I should do for myself daily. And that's why I started with our company's Women's Challenge with Native Path Collagen Peptides. It's affordable and convenient care in just 1 scoop a day. There are so many incredible health benefits like bone and joint support, metabolism booster, and hair, skin, and nail improvement. I like to take a moment each day to prioritize myself and indulge in the health-boosting benefits of Native Path Collagen Peptides. I love mixing it up with all the different smoothie recipes, too. Learn more about Native Path Collagen Peptides and read 7 important reasons why you should be taking collagen peptides at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Prioritize your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today and get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
Target.com. Target.com is an online e-commerce tire retailer. We are here to serve the American public with the best possible customer service, the best pricing, and we make it extremely easy. We have many name brands and a lot of low-cost tires. The price is right, and it's easy. You go online to Target.com, Tireget.com, Target.com. You go there, you put your zip code in, all the inventory displays right in front of you. You can call in for help if you want to. We'll help you get the tire that you need. But we will take the tires you buy and at no extra charge deliver them to the dealer right by your house where they will be installed at the market price. It's easy. The best price, the best service, great people to deal with. Thank you for going to Target.
I didn't risk my life for this country just to watch career politicians wreck it.
Matt Van Epps, 9 combat tours. True American hero.
Now, I'm on a new mission to bring down prices, create good-paying jobs, and lower healthcare costs for working families. I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message to fight for America, because that's what I've done my whole life.
Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back. In studio, very successful business executive Todd Kastner, running for mayor of Williamson County. Todd, you and I are both residents of Williamson County. This is, in my opinion, there's like 4,000 counties in the country?
There's 3,708 or something like that.
But to be exact.
3,700 roughly.
Williamson County is the best county in America.
I agree.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
And it's just got great people.
It does.
And great infrastructure, great businesses.
It's fantastic.
It's a lot of great, and really, a lot of, it's just south of Nashville. Mm-hmm. It's got, all of the kind of the rolling hills.
Oh yeah.
I see. This is what I grew up with in upstate New York. I love the rolling hills, and I have to say, the rolling hills of Williamson County are. I'm sorry to say they're a tad better than the rolling hills of upstate New York.
Really?
And
wow.
the winters are much better.
Well, I believe that. I do believe that. We do get cold though. But
so you're running for mayor of Williamson County, and now it is the county executive. Right?
Correct.
The county executive works with the county commission, right?
True.
The 24 members of the county commission?
True. Two for each of the 12 districts.
And tell us the duties of the county executive.
Well, it's interesting. So and this position is for the unincorporated portion of the county. We also have the 6 municipalities within the county. Franklin, Brentwood, Spring Hill, Thompson Station, Fairview, et cetera, Nolensville. And those municipalities each have their own governing structure.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a mayor and there are aldermen, like we have the Mayor Ken Moore and
mm-hmm.
then the alderman at Franklin, for example. And so this position is really overseeing the unincorporated county. And we have to coordinate, the position has to coordinate with the municipalities an awful lot, as you know. We have grown like Topsy. We in 1975, Williamson County had 34,500 people.
Okay, 1975, folks.
50 years ago.
50 years ago, we had 34,000 people here.
Today we have 272,000.
That's what you call growth.
It is an 8-fold increase, where you were
Yeah.
8 times the size that we were 50 years ago. And so the fact that the wheels are still on the bus, kudos to Rogers Anderson and the other leaders who were at the helm during that 50-year period. It's been a staggering amount of growth. And, of course, our fantastic schools have been a significant part of the engine that creates that growth. And because we grew so recently, we don't have a rotted-out inner-city core that we're having to carry along with us. It makes the job a little easier. We don't have Detroit or Chicago problems.
You just threw a sharp elbow. Rotted out city cores.
Well, it's just it's just a fact.
It's accurate.
I mean, I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, where it was a huge city, 150 years ago, because it sat on the Ohio River, which was effectively the interstate, in that era. And so Louisville has a very old history, meaning that there's some old dilapidated areas too. So.
Yeah, talk about rotted out city cores, from upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
Utica has a rotted out city core. Rochester has a rotted out city core.
Syracuse? I don't know if Syracuse.
Rotted out city core. With a university thrown in.
Right.
So, I understand what that's about.
So it's nice that we don't have to mess with that.
Mm-hmm.
But Williamson County is beautiful. You are correct. And the people are nice and wonderful. We are straining the infrastructure a bit.
Mm-hmm.
We do need some road development, of course. But it's a great county. It's a great place to be.
Yeah. And on the issue of road development.
Yes, sir.
When you get out and talk to people, if you go south from Franklin on 65, and you go past 840, you keep going south.
Oh yeah.
You're 4 lanes when you go past Goose Creek.
Yep.
You know where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going.
And then there's this new development near where I live called June Lake.
Yes, sir.
And right at June Lake, I don't know why the engineers did this. They took 64 lanes and moved it down to 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a mess.
I agree.
Is there anything as mayor you could do about that?
Well, certainly
asking for a friend.
Working. Good way to say that. Working with the state is the answer, because the state is responsible for the state highways and state highways, and 85% of our traffic is on state roads. And so working with the state, and I know I've got a lot of connections at the legislature, and I know Marsha Blackburn, and they just need to come. We all need to come together and get some solutions going. But the state, that's a role for them.
So one thing, when you have those conversations, if you're elected, May's the big primary. Republican,
correct.
Right?
Cinco de Mayo. Yes.
And then the Republicans will always win.
Yes.
County, at least for now, the August election, which is when the general election
in this county. You're right.
Yeah, in this county.
Right.
But let's figure out, please, how we can get 4 lanes to stay 4 lanes all the way south.
So I'm blessed with some God-given gifts. I understand numbers. I thrive with numbers. I understand complex problems. I like working through complex problems. And I'm an awfully good negotiator. At Brookdale, I negotiated a great number of multi-$100-million transactions, and I developed $1 billion worth of buildings. But to be a good negotiator, you need to be able to reach across the aisle and work with people that you really kind of don't like. But you
can't
have to hold
say,
hands.
as a negotiator, because Donald Trump's a pretty good negotiator too.
Yes, he is.
But you can't say to the other guy, "You're a jerk."
No, never.
You have to give him something, right?
Correct.
You have to be respectful.
So when we came up with the education impact fee, which was my idea, and it saved the county $200 million. Gave us new money that didn't have to go into debt. That was done, and I enlisted the support of Superintendent Mike Leahy. Mike Leahy and I didn't particularly care for one another.
And I will tell you something that will shock you. We didn't get along with Mike Leahy either.
He was a different guy, a different kind of doctor.
Let me just say this.
Yeah?
He had the right last name.
well, here's the important part. He wasn't stupid. And we held hands, and I went to him and said, look, out of all the people on the commission and the mayor, there's only one guy out there trying to get you more money for schools, and that's me. So we got to work. And so we worked together. We held hands, and we got this done. when, I didn't have an intense dislike for him, but we didn't care for one another particularly, but we held hands and worked together and got it done.
So tell our listeners what an education impact fee was, what it's done.
Okay, well, it was a new idea such that if you built a 2,400-foot home in Williamson County, I went back and did the complex algebra analysis to figure out that, wow, this home doesn't generate enough tax revenue to cover the cost of the education burden that it creates. Doesn't come close. You would have to more than double the taxes on a new home in order to have that home cover just the education load. Not talking about police, fire, roads, any of that, just education. And so what that meant was all the new homes that were getting built were foisting a tax burden upon all the existing residents of the county. So you and I would have our taxes go up if another new subdivision got built.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't seem fair to me. So the education impact fee ameliorated that misallocation of cost. And it worked very well. So we raised $200 million, and
the developers love you, though, right?
They got mad, and there were 8 home builders that sued the county and said you can't do this, and we beat them in court, and they appealed, and we beat them in the appellate court.
Did it go to the Supreme Court?
No, but we beat them at the appellate level, and then the Williamson County Realtors Association, they were also mad at me. They thought I was going to stop, that this $10,000 increase in price of homes was going to stop sales in Williamson County. Well, that really happened, didn't it?
Well, in other words,
didn't have it at all.
But Williamson County, because it's so desirable,
yes,
for any number of reasons,
yes,
real estate markets are pretty sharp here, pretty good.
They're hot. They're hot.
It's a hot place.
I've got 2 daughters. They're 31 and 32, and they both want to live in the county, and the prices have kind of run away from them.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't see, starter home subdivisions at $300,000 a house anymore in Williamson County. They're higher than that.
That's crazy.
It is.
It's really crazy. And we've seen, when we bought our house in 1997,
mm-hmm.
We didn't see a lot of capital appreciation on it for, maybe 15, 20 years. And then all of a sudden, boom.
Oh, yeah.
It's about 3 times what we bought it for.
I looked at a house.
The value of it.
I looked at a house in Brentwood, happened to notice a new house under construction, and my buddy and I looked at Zillow, and we
Mm-hmm.
found out in 2005 that house sold for $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then this past year, it sold for $1.6 million. They scraped the house off the lot, and they're building something big.
Isn't that crazy?
$250 to $1.6 million for just a lot. Oh
yeah.
My gosh,
that it must be well located.
It's right over in Williamsburg subdivision.
Yeah.
But,
well, look, any campaign events you have coming up in the near term?
We're going to have a kickoff Sunday a week from Sunday, so about 8 days out at the farm, and talking about what I've seen, what I've heard when I've talked to people. This won't surprise you. The constituents I've met talk about traffic,
mm-hmm.
debt, taxes, and management of growth.
A week from Sunday.
Yes.
Are we invited?
I'll get you on the list. I'll definitely get you on the list, Mark.
All right, Todd Kastner. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. It's been fun.
All right. When we come back, Tom Pappert, some breaking Tennessee news after this.
EJ Haast here, founder of the Digital Footprint Management Agency and frequent guest on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, here to tell you about GetFoundEverywhere.com. Customers are searching for your business everywhere: Google, Apple Maps, TikTok, and new AI platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini, which is a total disruptor. Traditional search engine optimization isn't dead, but it is on life support. Old tactics don't work anymore. So how can you make your business stand out? GetFoundEverywhere.com makes your business pop on over 50 search, map, review, and AI-driven platforms. With one easy dashboard, manage business profiles, social media accounts, direct messages, even texts and reviews. GetFoundEverywhere.com is affordable, boosts your visibility, and gets your business more customers. It's time to step up your game the easy way. Save time, save money, and get more customers with GetFoundEverywhere.com.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of Glockstore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at Glockstore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at Glockstore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
My fellow Americans, my good friends, I've known them for a long time, at DT McCall & Sons have the deal of a lifetime for you, and nobody knows deals like I do. That much I can tell you. Nobody knows deals like I do. The lumber yards, they can hit you with hidden charges for up to $200 extra. They'll charge you for cords and hoses and haul-offs. Your money goes all over the place and out of the state, and most importantly, out of your pockets. How do they get away with that? I don't know how they do that, but on day one, if you buy from McCall's, we are going to stop the hidden charges as soon as you buy it. DT McCall & Sons has locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, and they have been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years. Head to one of their stores today or check them out at dtmccalls.com. You're going to love it, believe me. Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
This is Michael Patrick Leahy. Join Rutherford County Mayor Joe Carr, Senator Marsha Blackburn, Congressman Tim Burchett, and Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs and me at T-Bones and Politics 2025 on the evening of November 10th in Murfreesboro for a night of great food, good fellowship, and inspiring political speeches. Get your tickets now. They're going fast at tbonesandpolitics2025.com. This is a great annual event. This year, musical entertainment will be provided by the Tremolo Honey Band. If you haven't heard them before, they are absolutely fantastic. This special event is sponsored by Barrett Firearms, Old South SRM, Moody Excavating, Azure Flight Management, and SEC Engineers. So go right now to tbonesandpolitics2025.com and get your tickets for T-Bones and Politics. It's an evening of great food and fun on November 10th. I'll see you there. Paid for by Joe Pack, William Ronsley, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
We welcome to our Zoom Newsmaker line right now our lead political reporter at the Tennessee Star and the Star News Network, the one, the only, Tom Pappard. Welcome, Tom.
Good morning, Michael.
So we've got some Tennessee news here. Let's start off with the odd story of a Tennessee executive committee member of the Tennessee Republican Party who also turns out to be a national committeeman from Tennessee to the Republican National Convention. His name is Oscar Brock. He's been the Tennessee National Committeeman to the RNC for some years. He made a very bizarre statement recently, and apparently he's standing by that bizarre statement that appears to be a violation of the bylaws. Tell us what he said and where everything stands on that story.
Well, Michael, the statement from Mr. Brock, again, Tennessee Republican Party Executive Committee man and also a national precinctman to the National Republican Committee, he wrote in a post to Facebook late last month that he will withhold all future support to incumbent congressmen over the government shutdown. That means I think there's 7 of them in the state of Tennessee, 6 U.S. House representatives running for re-election, as well as Senator Bill Hagerty. I guess none of these people will receive his support. That is what he wrote. Quote, I'm going to make a donation to our local food bank, and I'm not going to support any member of Congress who runs for re-election next year. So we reached out to Mr. Brock to see if this means what it seems like it means, that he's not supporting any of Tennessee's incumbents, despite his position on the Tennessee Republican Party. And he did not dispute this. Instead, we also asked him, well, what about the arguments put forward by the Democrats and the Republicans, particularly the claim the Democrats are looking for a taxpayer handout to give free health care to illegal immigrants? And again, Brock did not dispute the claim that he's withholding support, but he did dispute the claim that the Republican Party and the White House has put forward. He said, and I quote, that it is a frequently debunked theory that the shutdown is leveraged to provide free health care for undocumented immigrants. This, in my opinion, really shows his political ideology because, Michael, there is a ton of research and news articles from just the last 30 days that establishes how illegal immigrants use emergency rooms as a primary care doctor, up to half of them, according to some research. And not only that, there's been reports in New York that about 500,000 illegal immigrants got federally paid emergency care out of Medicaid, and the same in Connecticut, where just recently it was reported $27.5 million in federal taxpayer money was used to provide health care to illegal immigrants. So it appears Mr. Brock is standing by his decision to withhold all support to Republicans while echoing and reinforcing the spurious claims by congressional Democrats in this government shutdown.
He sounds like Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader for the Democrats. Now, others have weighed in on this. Several state legislators I know have called for his resignation. Tell us about. I know you did a story about Jeremy Faison. What did he say?
Well, Jeremy Faison, of course, he is the House GOP caucus chair, so a very significant state legislator in the state of Tennessee. And he said yesterday, well, that, again, Brock should resign. He said, quote, at a time when Democrats are openly backing a socialist like Zoran Mamdani, the last thing we need is a Republican publicly declaring that they will refuse to support our GOP nominees and elected officials. President Reagan reminded us that someone who agrees with us 80% of the time is a friend and an ally, not an enemy. If Oscar Brock cannot stand with the team and support our candidates, he should step aside until he decides where he truly belongs. And Michael, I should also say that I have spoken to an individual familiar with the situation at the national level, and the Republican Party is not happy with Mr. Brock's comments.
Do you have have they said anything about that at the Republican National Committee, or a source familiar with their thinking?
No public statements from the party yet that we've asked, but a source familiar tells me again, the party is very unhappy. They're not pleased with his statements, but they are not necessarily going to be able to move forward with anything. I think that will come to the state Republican Party to decide if Mr. Brock should suffer any sort of amelioration for this, or if he should resign.
Well, he needs to resign. I mean, this is a violation of the bylaws. And right now, where the country faces this existential challenge, we can't have somebody aligned with the Democrats as the Tennessee representative to the Republican National Committee. You just can't have it. I've called for his resignation. Aaron Gulbinson has called for his resignation. Jeremy Faison, state rep and GOP caucus chair, has called for his resignation. I think several other state legislators are about to do that as well.
I think so, Michael. I think you're going to see a mini avalanche over the weekend and probably into the beginning of next week because of what you just described. Look, the Republican Party right now, you were just talking about it earlier, is sort of in the middle of a soul-searching episode right now, and it has nothing to do with this Rhino Democrat light version of the party that is apparently being put forward by Mr. Brock. He really has no place in the conversation if he cannot do the basic thing, the basic requirement of supporting elected Republicans who are seeking re-election. It's simply not acceptable. That's my opinion.
By the way, if you want to get the breakdown of all of the costs that are we're experiencing for healthcare to provide to illegal aliens, go to TennesseeStar.com, TennesseeStar.com. Look at the commentary section, and you'll see James Agresti has a very, very good article on that. I think it's time to reach out to our friend, the chairman of the Republican Party of Tennessee, Scott Golden. And I'll try to get him. I've been trading phone calls with him. But I think now's the time to get him on the record. And I'm asking Scott, either if Oscar Brock does not resign for violating the bylaws in such an egregious way, Scott, I think you need to call a special emergency meeting of the Tennessee Republican Party State Executive Committee and basically a vote on removing Oscar Brock from the committee. Your thoughts on that, Tom Pappert?
Well, Michael, I think that's only the logical thing to do. I mean, look, Tennessee is MAGA country. The state has voted for President Trump 3 times in a row. You've got people like Andy Ogles who get very fierce Democrats coming up to try to unseat him. He wins by 15 points. It makes no sense to have a member of the Tennessee Executive Committee, who is also, again, the committeeman to the RNC, to hold such wishy-washy and, frankly, Democrat far-left views.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't represent a single Republican voter in the state.
Now, we've got another Tennessee story, kind of an odd way it came out. The former Speaker of the House of Representatives for the state of Tennessee House Speaker, former Speaker Glenn Cassada, and his Chief of Staff, Cade Cothran, were convicted for basically, fraudulent activity for some direct mailings where they misrepresented certain things. I think the total amount involved was like $70,000. Big trial. They were convicted and are both scheduled to go to they were scheduled to go to 2.5 years to 3 years of federal prison. The person who gave them up, Robin Smith, pled guilty to, I think, a misdemeanor. She's now been sentenced to 8 months in federal prison. But the big news that came yesterday didn't originally come from the White House. It broke at WSMV and State Affairs and then went all over the place. Tell us about the pardon for Glenn Cassada and Cade Cothran.
Well, the White House confirmed yesterday afternoon, a spokesman told multiple media outlets that the pardons for Glenn Cassada and Cade Cothran are in fact legitimate. A spokesman said yesterday, President Trump has approved pardons for former Tennessee House Speaker Glenn Cassada and his former chief of staff. The Biden Department of Justice significantly over-prosecuted these individuals for a minor issue involving constituent mailers, which were billed at competitive prices and never received a complaint from legislators and resulted in a net profit loss of less than $5,000. The Biden DOJ responded with an armed raid, perp walk, and suggested sentences exceeding 10 years, penalties normally reserved for multi-million-dollar fraudsters. Both Cassada and Cothran's attorneys have confirmed receiving the pardons, I should say. Now, interestingly, Michael, Robin Smith, you mentioned earlier, she cooperated with prosecutors on this. She recently requested a pardon from President Trump. She did not receive one yet. Her attorney is still pushing for one, but it's very interesting. A lot of folks thought there would be 0 pardons offered in this case. I think it shows exactly how willing Trump is to hear people's complaints about weaponized prosecutors with everything he's gone through over the past decade.
Having pardoned the main players and then having basically a cooperative witness not pardoned, that seems going to be a bit of a problem, I think. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how these pardons actually happen, but it would seem to me that there's going to be a lot of discussion within the pardon office there about, well, if we pardoned Glenn Cassada and Cade Cawthon, I think we probably ought to pardon Robin Smith as well.
Well, I think that would be a logical step to take. I'm a quarter Italian, Michael, and the Sicilian in me is saying, did Trump really not pardon the person who flipped, who spoke and cooperated with the prosecutors, but the two who did not flip were pardoned? It's very interesting. I do wonder, though, if everything the president has gone through over the past 5 years, perhaps he's not too patient with those who turn on their former allies when confronted by the Biden Department of Justice.
What's the impact on Tennessee politics of this pardon, you think?
Well, Michael, I hope that this will have a minimal impact. Maybe it will smooth over some ruffled feathers. Glenn Cassida has said that his time in politics is over. He is a private citizen. He does not intend to jump back into the arena. I think if that is true, then this could be a moment for some really ancient, at this point, party injuries to be finally healed and for Tennessee Republicans to move past them.
All right. Tom Pappard, thank you for that excellent report. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Michael. You do the same, and the same to all the viewers.
We'll be back with News Potpourri after this.
Tom Carmichael, CEO of Soul Tea, a supplement to help you have a healthier heart and stronger cardiovascular system. At Soul Tea, we regularly get emails from our customers telling us how Soul Tea has helped them. Like this one from Kelly. Hello, I'm 58 years old and have had high cholesterol for years. I wanted to stay away from prescription drugs. My husband and I have been using Soul Tea for about 13 months. My results have been amazing. My cholesterol levels went from 291 to 129. I am so impressed with Soul Tea and want to thank you. Now, in my own case, my bad cholesterol dropped from 130 to 89, and that was 20 years ago. I'm 75 years old and I take 0 prescription drugs. To get a great deal on Soul Tea, please go to GodzillaHeart.com, and when you check out, use the code Godzilla to get our best deal, which is 50% off your first shipment and then 3 bottles for the price of 2 thereafter. You don't have to live with a broken heart.
Do you suffer from
Try
declining
Soul Tea
bone and
today.
joint health? Hi, it's Tina with the John Fredericks Media Network. And when I heard about our company's Women's Challenge, I jumped on the opportunity to test this amazing supplement that's already restoring my bone density, soothing my joint pain, and helping me regain lost mobility. I've experienced so many benefits in such a short time with Native Path Collagen Peptides because they support my bones and joints, boost my metabolism, and unleash the most radiant skin and hair since my 20s. In just 2 weeks, my knee stiffness is gone, and I'm already hitting the gym more aggressively. And I get so many compliments on my glowy skin and shiny hair. Native Path Collagen Peptides are so easy to take. They're tasteless, odorless, and mix great with my morning coffee. Read thousands of 5-star reviews at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Level up your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today. And get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cells Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message.
Meet woke liberal
Afton Bain.
This is great. We've got our girl squad and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Afton Bain, so woke she thinks it's a win to harass police.
This is great. We've got our girl squad and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Woke liberal Afton Bain. When she wins, we lose.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We are indeed broadcasting live from our studios in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, folks, it's that time of day again. It's time for News Potpourri. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, News Potpourri. This is the portion of the program where we talk about those stories that are of note, don't necessarily merit a full segment, and may have, just may have, a touch of irony. Well, this isn't irony, but this is interesting. A Democrat staffer in the United States Senate, this is from Ted Cruz, apparently was quoted publicly saying the following: "We'll keep the shutdown going until planes start falling from the sky." Huh. Really? I don't know if this was something overheard. It sounds though, it does seem to me to be the kind of attitude that the Democrats have. This is not, they are trying to create chaos. They don't want this to be over, right? They want to have all sorts of problems going on with this. What else do we have going on? Oh, this is kind of interesting. You know, Sam Altman, he's the chat GPT guy or the AI guy. Apparently somebody wanted to sue him. They served him a subpoena while he was talking on stage. How about that? Oh, that's kind of funny. Hey, we mentioned this before. It is also kind of interesting. Elise Stefanik is running for governor, and she has the chairman of the Republican Party of New York State has endorsed her. Now, just breaking, New York is a little different because you can have multiple parties on the ballot, and they aggregate, they combine a candidate's vote. So, for instance, if you're on the Democrat ballot, and the two parties that are the Working Families Party and the Liberal Party, they usually kind of also endorse the Democrat. They add the nomination, the votes you get from each party to the total. And now, why does this matter? Because in New York State, they have the Liberal Party, they have the Working Families Party, and the Democrat Party, and those all usually kind of align in terms of their endorsements. But they also have the Conservative Party in New York, and they usually align with Republicans, although not always. Here is a breaking story. It's quite interesting. The breaking story is that the Conservative Party of New York has endorsed Elise Stefanik. We're all in favor of Elise Stefanik becoming governor. So we'll see how that all plays out. Y'all know who Catherine Herridge is? She is launching. She was with Fox News and then CBS, and then CBS kind of in a terrible way when she was doing some real good investigative reporting on the kind of the Rushgate hoax. They fired her, and then they wouldn't let her get all her documents, and she had to go to court, and it was a big mess. Well, guess what? She is starting. She's starting a new program, and I think it's a podcast, but it's got a lot of support for it. And Catherine Herridge is a very, very good reporter, so we look forward to that. Here's a big win for the good guys. A circuit court, a federal circuit court in Ohio, the Sixth Circuit has ruled, and that's our circuit, right? Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, and Michigan are the Sixth Circuit. They have ruled that Ohio schools cannot punish students for not using transgender pronouns. I'm saying it's a big victory. I mean, goodness gracious. Why is that such a big deal? What else do we have going This is interesting. This story kind of epitomizes everything. A mayor of a small town in Kansas, his name is Joe Ceballos, now has been indicted on several election charges because that mayor is a Mexican citizen and not an American citizen. This is from Topeka, Kansas. The mayor of a small south central Kansas town has been charged with committing fraud by voting in elections since 2022, even though he is not a U.S. citizen, the state's attorney general and Secretary of State said Wednesday. Let's play that clip right now.
The mayor of Coldwater accused of election fraud. The charges come hours after he secured a second term in office. Attorney General Chris Kobach charged Mayor Jose Joe Ceballos with 6 felonies, 3 counts each of voting without being qualified and election perjury. Kobach claims Ceballos is lawfully living in the U.S. but is a citizen of Mexico, making him ineligible to vote. The AG alleges the mayor illegally cast ballots in the August 2024 primary and November 2022 and 2023 general elections.
Yeah, it's interesting now. This is a little tiny town there. And here is what, let's see, the city council president, Britt Leonard, said, quote, "While the recent allegations involving the mayor are understandably concerning, he's a Mexican citizen. He shouldn't be your mayor. Allegedly, we will allow the proper legal process to take its course before making any further comments." In a phone interview, Leonard said the city is unsure what, if any, implications it would have for city business if it is determined Ceballos has not been eligible to hold office. Now, Chris Kobach, I know Chris. He's a really great attorney and a great attorney general. He said the state is actively pursuing cases like this by using the systematic alien verification for entitlements or SAVE database. Well, there you go. That's our show for today. I hope you have a great weekend. We'll be back Monday, 9 o'clock Central Time. The website, TennesseeStar.com. TennesseeStar.com. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com. Listen to Michael Patrick Leahy and make America great again.
FlatFeeNashville.com is a full-service real estate brokerage that charges homeowners a upfront flat fee of $999 to completely list, market, and sell your home. We are all about saving consumers money, saving that equity. Nobody should hire an agent and feel like when that agent walks in the door, that agent is more concerned about the down payment on their next Mercedes purchase versus saving the equity that those homeowners have worked hard for. I've spent my entire career in ensuring that the equity that people save and they put into their monthly mortgage every single month, as much of that as we possibly can goes back to them when they go to list and sell that home. The idea is to give homeowners the ability to really create generational wealth.
FlatFeeNashville.com. flatfeenashville.com.